Good evening, good evening, good evening. And how's everybody doing? Can everybody hear me clearly? Do you have your water, your pens, your pencils, your friends? Yes, I see we have lots of people online here. It's good to see you all, good to be with you all. I'm honored to be in the position to give this information and be the person that I came to be. I am grateful to the ancestors, the creator of all, or the distant relatives, distant family, close family, the family of Earth. I'm grateful for this time, for this space, for this voice. I'm also thankful to the many mentors that I've had over the years who've helped me, guided me, and given me information, and sometimes even had to bring me back to health when I was living on a different wavelength. So it's good to see you all here. Let's look at the chat room to see if we have anything. Yes, everybody can hear. They can hear. We can hear. Yes. Peace and love, harmony to everyone. Okay. So let's get started. I'm going to attempt to take this smoothly, but I'm really excited. And I received a message earlier that said maybe I should slow down a little bit because I was really hyped up. I am. So I'm going to attempt to be clear. If there's something that you're not understanding, overstanding, then you may put it in the chat room and ask questions. But there are times when the beings come and I'm in a mode of mediumship and the information is traveling through. At that time, I may not be able to answer the questions, but we can ask more questions a little later on. Okay? So, we are at a very new place in the time-space continuum. there have been many events that have happened in the cosmos and on the planet that give us an indication of where we are. They give us an indication of who we are. They give us an indication of why we are. We come from the stars. We are star material. Let me adjust this light just a bit because I see a shine. Not only am I the producer, I'm the light man and the director. So we come from the stars. We're star people. This whole planet is made of stardust, and we come from the stardust of the planet. So we are deeply connected to the stars and the cosmos. Things that happen in the cosmos have a lot to do with things that happen on Mother Earth or Mother Gaia. Our sun is a star. Our sun in Latin is Solaris. Solaris. Deep within us, we have a bundle of nerves called the solar plexus. Plexus is a bundle. Solar is light or star material. The Solaris in the sky connects directly to our solar plexus, and every cell, the nucleus of every cell of our bodies. As we know, the moon has a great effect on the tides, the weather, and so doesn't the sun. So the weather that's happening in our atmosphere is also connected to the weather within each one of us. We actually have a whole ecosystem inside of us. In fact, most of our body is made of creatures that are not human. They're different types of bacteria, friendly bacteria. Now, some of us have some that are not so friendly, and those are the ones that we must work on balancing. Being star children, that means that our system is part of an orchestra, also known as an orchestra of sounds, rhythms, tones, and frequencies. We're involved in a great concert, and everything vibrates at different rates. The difference between different material things is based on the type of vibration, the rate of vibration, the frequency. Frequency means how frequently something happens. The universe is made of all vibrations. It's not just a high vibration. It's very low. It's very high. In fact, the lowest vibration on the earth is the earth itself. So when we talk about a low vibration, we also have to keep in mind that the earth itself is the lowest vibration. So there is this thing that people have got into about emotionally having a high vibration. And it sounds good, high, we've connected that to good. Like positive, we've connected that to good. These words have nothing to do with good or evil. high is just a high part of a spectrum that we can feel. The low part is a part that we can feel also, but we feel it more in our bones. So we must learn to regulate our vibration, not necessarily have a high vibration and act like we have a high vibration and talk in what we call high vibrational talk. All vibrations are vibrations. They're neither good nor evil. Our earth wobbles on its axis, and that wobble has a lot to do with the seasons. When the earth is tilted towards the sun, when the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, it's spring and summer in the northern hemisphere. When the earth is tilted the opposite way, it's spring and summer in the southern hemisphere. So the seasons are flipped. So right now we're going into springtime. We're in the southern hemisphere, they're going into fall. The equinox is when the sun is directly over the equator. Equal day and equal night. During the equinox, there is one time during the day that you can take an egg and put it on a table and it will stand straight up because the magnetism is equal. This is where the Humpty Dumpty story comes from. Humpty Dumpty is an egg. Hum means created. Like it comes from humbug. Humbug means created or not real or artificial. When Humpty Dumpty, which represents man, created man, not original man, sits on the wall, it can only sit on the wall in balance during the equinox. So it is at an equal time. It's in balance. It's in homeostasis. The egg represents new life, new ideas, moving forward, springing forward. Humpty Dumpty has a great fall, falls off the wall, falls out of balance. It cracks. The new ideas get broken. The new person gets broken. The new being is not whole anymore. All the king's men and all the king's horses cannot put Humpty Dumpty back together again because only Humpty Dumpty could put itself back together. We have gone through something called the fall of man. It happens every time we cycle through the 24, or sometimes it's a 26,000 year cycle. It's not exact. That is called the sidereal day. The sidereal day, the star day. It's let's call it 26,000 years. That is the true calendar. When we're moving away from the center of the galaxy, that is called the fall of man. For the last 6,000 years, we've been very far from the center of the galaxy. We've been leaning away from it. So that is called the 6,000 years of the devil, Dev-il. It is the rust age. We move from the iron age into the rusty age. We have moved out of that now. We're moving into the springtime, of this calendar, because this calendar has seasons too. The 26,000 year calendar has seasons. We're coming out of winter on the calendar and we're moving into spring. This is on the great calendar. That's why they say we're moving into a feminine time, and you can see it. You can feel it. Feminine time means being more flexible, more loving, heart first, mind second. It's not about power and control. It's about sharing, about loving, about love, peace, and harmony for everyone. We have moved into that time now. The great event that happened last year, the eclipse of the sun, the big one, the one where they told everyone to go get those glasses, and that's a whole nother story. We're still healing from that because that was not something we should have been doing. Looking at this eclipse, we should have been indoors, but a lot of us were led by the excitement, as we normally are, and we're led by the egregor, and the egregor is a created mindset that says that we should follow the rest of the sheep. Some of us knew, some of us didn't, but that's okay. We can heal that. But that event was huge. It shifted everything. It put us into a whole new age. It's very interesting that my last mentor, Baba Dick Gregory, talked about this eclipse that was coming. And as I've said before, he mentioned possibly one day taking off on the tail of a comet or during an eclipse. It's about a day and a half after he made his transition, the great eclipse came. And he chose his time. He chose the moment, which is very powerful within itself. The last time he and I were together, we were in Atlanta, and while he was doing one of his comedy shows, some people were in the audience from the Black Panther movie. And one of the people called me out and said, "Are you Dr. B?" And I'm like, "Yes." And we started talking, and she introduced me to her friend, and they said, "You're friends of Dick Gregory, because he just mentioned you." And, and we ended up talking, and there was another person I met there who was from the film too, a guy. I can't remember what his name was, or I just talked to him briefly. These were people who were part of the movie. So it was interesting on this particular night because after the show, we always go hang out. And we're with these people from the movie at a restaurant. And immediately, Mr. Gregory starts talking about vibration and vibrating your brain, vibrating your cranium, your skull, and changing your frequency to create magic, virtual magic, using your imagination to see the unseen. And it was interesting because, being with him, you could have 4 people at a table and he's speaking to each person individually. And I don't even know if everybody hears each other because he's speaking so deeply to your core. A lot of these real true masters, the older ones, they have a special ability to pace people, to reach people. And what I kept hearing was this talk about vibrating your mind, vibrating your brain. He talked about things that exist that we cannot see because we're not vibrating on the right frequency, and these things do exist, that there's places that exist that most of us don't know anything about. And in the past, he's talked about the ships, the beings, and the things that he was involved with, and the times when he was in the desert and the lights came out the sky and he met these beings. And, we talked a lot about that kind of stuff. And he said once many years ago that many of the ships we're seeing are not alien. They're from here. Some are from inner earth. Some are from the ocean. And some happen to be in a place, in a time space, where they cannot be seen by the average eye. It was interesting that he was on his way to do 2 performances in Atlanta when he was, taken to the hospital. He was on the way here. And he was going to give me some very special information because he always does. And he never made it. When the eclipse happened, I realized that he had taken a ride on the eclipse and that his work was done at one level, but he had some work to do on another level that can only be done at a higher dimension. It was a while before I could get myself together because, he was so influential in my life as well as everybody else. I know a lot of you, he's touched many lives all over the world. It became really deep when I was at his memorial to see all of these people from everywhere, from all walks of life, who he had touched in so many beautiful ways. So the movie comes out, Black Panther. I go to view the movie. I sit down, I get my seat. The first scene comes on, and they mention this thing coming out of the sky. And from it came this material, vibranium. That was it. This is like the first few minutes of the movie. I'm like, vibranium? Mr. Gregory was talking about vibrating your brain. He's also talked about the Om sound, vibranium, Om, which vibrates when you say Om, it vibrates your pineal gland. That was it. I mean, it took me a while to get to get it together because I realized that what he seemed to be talking about was this vibranium. To me, that was what I put together. When they talked about the sacred plants, Mr. Gregory told me one day when we were working on this brand new idea that I needed to take my product, which is called the Platinum Life Elixir. It used to be called the Beckwith Reserve, and was the Beckwith Reserve because Michael Beckwith from the Agape International Spiritual Center really like talking about it a lot. So, and I told Dick Gregory about it, and Dick Gregory said, why don't you put his name on it? Call it the Beckwith Reserve. So we did for many years. And I said, well, I'd like to make one with your name on it. And he was like, no, not while I'm here, not over my dead body. Or not while I'm alive or something like that, he says. Or no, over my dead body. That's what he says. Don't put my name on it. So for many years, we had this product, the Beckwith Reserve, which people loved. But in some of our last conversations, he talked about changing it. He says, have you ever thought about using copper and putting copper in a high spin state, or colloidal copper or ionic copper in the platinum? Because platinum has a platinum, gold, iridium, and palladium in a high spin state, which we'll get into a little bit more later. Which these things vibrate the glands in your head. They feed the glands in your head, the pituitary, the pineal, the hypothalamus, and the amygdala. They help to create a frequency where those things can communicate together like in a super fast internet. So he's talking about copper. And he also mentions, he says, Dr. B, what about that plant in your front yard, the little purple flowers? I said, the purple flowers? He said, yeah. He says, well, the periwinkle. Periwinkle? Periwinkle in my front yard. First of all, Mr. Gregory, as far as I know, had never been to my home. What do I find in my front yard? Periwinkle. Periwinkle works on the brain. It is known as a nootropic or nootropic. It helps to augment the thought process. It helps to upgrade the pineal so that it makes more serotonin. It's in my front yard. Mystical stuff. Amazing. At the movie, they talk about this sacred plant, which is purple, which takes you into altered states, but it also looks like a plant called datura. Datura is a sacred plant used to take you to altered states. It's used to get your body to, or your subconscious, or your pineal to emit DMT. DMT is the material that takes you into dream time, and also when you use certain sacred plants or plant teachers, it helps to take you to those other dimensions, like certain mushrooms, like psilocybin, and there's many plants, that will do this. Ayahuasca, that help you get to those altered states and those dimensions that exist that you cannot see because your vibration is not at the right frequency so that you could ride that trip. So in the movie, I'm looking at, whoa, the plant looks like periwinkle and datura. Mr. Gregory talked a lot about using these plants, certain ones. So that's what made me come up with this new product. Actually, no, that's not the whole story. When I was at his memorial, which was profound, I mean, I met a lot of beautiful people. I met his wonderful wife and children for the first time. And my highest choice is that some of them are here online. I know Gregory, Brother Gregory, is usually online, and Ayana and Satori and the whole family, is interesting. I mean, when I met Mr. Gregory's wife for the first time, I said, Mrs. Gregory, my name is Dr. B. She says, oh my God. And she says my phone number, not my public phone number, my private phone number. She has all the phone numbers in her head. She don't need a smartphone. She is the smartphone, like we all used to be. That's a whole nother subject right there. But when they were giving the last rites for Mr. Gregory, there was this Caucasian man standing way off by himself. And I'd seen him like 3-4 times that day. And actually, I saw him at 3-4 times in 3-4 places. And it looked like he was 3 people because he was at 3 places almost at the same time. And he didn't have any expression on his face. And I remember Mr. Gregory talking about these people that had no belly buttons. I know, Gregory, I know you know about them. I see Gregory up there. Hey, Gregory. The people with no belly buttons. And I wondered, because he said he was going to introduce me to them one day, if this was one of them. The people with no belly buttons that must come from somewhere else. If you don't have a belly button, then you couldn't have been born through a mother here on the planet, or not in any way that we know, or unless you were in a test tube. I'm not sure, but these were some very powerful, magical, intelligent beings. And when I saw this man at the last rites, I was wondering if that was him, because he just looked strange. His energy seemed strange. And when I looked at him, he never would look me in the eyes. And something said, go to the pine tree. So I go to the pine tree, which is right near Mr. Gregory's site. And I grab the pine tree. And the pine tree begins to vibrate. It begins to move. It begins to grow into me. I feel the life force of this tree. And I get all this download instantly from this tree. This is the pine tree. pine tree is very important in the forest. The pine tree makes the semen of the forest. On March the 20th, there's these little, they call them catcombs. They're not pine cones, catkins. They're the male version of like the pine cone. They pop up right on March 20th or 21st during the spring equinox. These things pop up and they put out this yellow pollen. You've seen it all over the cars, all over everything. This yellow pollen is known as the semen of the forest because it has so many minerals and so many hormones, right? That when it pops, it spreads the forest with food. It feeds the food to the forest so that the forest has the food that it needs to create new life. I'm holding the palm tree in the pine tree, not the palm tree. I was in California a little too long. I'm holding the tree and it says, when I pop, when I release, it will be complete. This is the message I'm getting in my head. And I'm hearing many things that Mr. Gregory said. Of course, by this time, many of his family members and the children all come and they're all holding on to the tree. And this sap starts dripping from the tree and it's in my hands. This sap from the pine tree. Sap is a resin. Sap is very powerful. Sap is what amber is made from. Even amber crystals are made from the sap and the resin from pine trees or certain types of pine trees, evergreens. So I'm receiving this huge download, and the download is all about this time when the pine tree pops. The pine tree pops when Sirius, is straight overhead, when the planets, when the star system Sirius, when Sirius, which blinks red, white, and blue when you're totally connected to it, right overhead on March the 20th, it signals the male part of the pine tree to explode this pollen all over everything. It jump starts the new life. This is next week, 5 days. Watch. If you're anywhere near pine trees, pop. You'll see them. The yellow little things come up for like about 2 weeks. And everything is yellow. And by the way, most people aren't allergic to the pine pollen. They're allergic to pollen from other plants. Most people are not allergic to pine pollen. Okay. In fact, I have a product with pine pollen in it. It's called, what is it called? I can't even think. Genesis, which helps to, strengthen the man's, the testosterone. And for women, it helps to balance their testosterone and their estrogen or estriol group. It's called, Genesis. It's made from pine pollen. So putting all this together, I realized that this sequence of energy, which started for me in 1987, when supernova 1987, the light from supernova 1987, this light hit the earth, this green light. Look up supernova 1987A. That light began a sequence, and there were all of these star concordances. Every so many months there was so many events have happened since then to let us know where we're at and what time it is. But when you're in tune, you can feel it, you can hear it. You don't have to read about it. You can, it's okay. But you're tapped into it. Sometimes we get to this point where we need to be told. We need to read about it. There are things that are in your DNA that have read everything. Your DNA, your genes are connected to everything. Everything. Okay? They're called the books. Your DNA is called the books, the true books. Your genes pick up light, right? They're called chromosomes. Chroma is light. Zomes means bodies, light bodies. So your chromosomes, right, which look like the rainbows, ribbons with rainbows, rainbow-colored ribbons, pick up light from the biophotons. The biophotons are living light creatures that everything living emits. And they travel. They play. When you see them, they're dancing around. They have fun. They're called biophotons, living light creatures. When you are eating a certain way within the law, because a lot of us are outlaws because we're eating outside of the law of nature. When you're living outside of the law of nature by thinking things that actually reduce you, when you're following blindly, when you're lost in space and can't get home, when you're caught up in the weapons of mass distraction, and every time they shake the tree, every time they type something on the news, you go crazy, then guess what? Your chromosomes cannot receive the information coming from the biophotons correctly. So you receive this energy, but it's not the correct energy to turn on your telomeres. And your telomeres are the ends of the genes, which are like little telephones that dial up information and send that information to every cell of your body. This thing is a miracle. It's magical. I was talking to somebody today on the phone, and they were talking about the preacher they're having a potluck at the church. And the preacher called his aunt and asked her, was she going to bring the barbecue chitlins this year? I was like, whoa, this is 2018 barbecue chitlins. This is a holy event. I just thought that was interesting. I said, are you serious, bro? He says, man, I'm serious. She's out looking for cleaned chitlins. How can you clean a chitlin? This is like, pig colons. Why don't you just call them pig colons? Yeah, we're going to have barbecued pig colons. Yeah, call Jerry. Get Jerry online. Tell him to bring them barbecued pig colons for the church meeting. If you're eating certain food, then you stay asleep. You cannot be awake. Never mind woke. Stay woke. You didn't wake up in the first place. And most people that think they're awake are not awake. Folks talking about their conscious. What are you talking about? I can actually talk to you for a few minutes and tell that what you're saying and what you actually mean is two different things, and we're using these terms and we're watering them down. Because I am not conscious. Not after what they've done with this term. I don't know what that means. Because everybody's conscious. Somebody that's crazy. These folks shooting up these schools are very conscious. They know exactly what they're about to do. Folks in the White House, or you know what I'm saying? They're very conscious. So we got to be careful how we use the words. Are you aware? Are you focused? Are you clear? Do you know your true purpose? When you do, your genes begin to vibrate, and the light from the universe begins to hit them, right? And turn them on like keys. The biophotons hit your genes and turns them on. The genes are the genies. And the genie would like to know, what would you desire? Every second of the day, you get 3 desires. What is your thought? What are you saying? What are you emitting? If your thing is all about the problem in the world and how bad it is and how tough it is and the struggle, the lady on the radio said the struggle continues. I'm like, wow, it does? For who? The man on the radio told me the other day that people only live to be about 80 years old. I'm like, what people are you talking about? Because if you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer. Didn't Stevie Wonder try to tell you? There's a lot you don't know. There's a lot you can't see, you can't hear, you can't taste, you can't even feel it. You can't even sense it. Because most of us don't have the sense we were born with, because we were caught up and born in a time when things were crazy. Balance was off. Everything was off. We were far away from the center of the galaxy. Well, guess what? That's no longer true. And if you stay caught up in that old story, that old vibratory rate of poor me, and I'm this and I'm that, and all the isms and all that, I'm not saying these things aren't happening. I'm saying you got to focus your energy so that it does not attract what you're thinking about that's disagreeable. You got to create a force field. The only way you can create a force field is for your telomeres, which are wound around your genes to hold the gene together so it doesn't fray off. If the telomere can tell the rest of your body who you are so that the genes, the genies, can bring you more of what you desire. But if you speak evil, you receive evil. If you talk disagreeable, you receive more of it. If you're afraid of this and afraid of that, you receive more of it. You attract what you think. When I was holding the palm tree in Washington, D.C., I was asking questions. I needed answers. I needed information from my mentor. And he dropped it. The pine tree pops on March the 20th. Black Panther comes out. The theme of the Black Panther, the thing that gives them power, is the vibranium. You could say, well, we don't really have that. Well, we don't. How do you know? It might not be called vibranium. They got a substance called sagala. Have you heard of sagala? There's so many substances that are not even on the periodic table yet that they found. The one in your cell phone. Coltan, your phone would not work without it. It only is in Africa. You think there's not civilizations in the Amazon and civilizations in the mountains of Africa? Do you think there's not civilizations living under Antarctica and inside the earth? Do you think man has discovered the earth? Man hasn't discovered the earth. To discover means you've discovered it. You haven't even discovered everything in North America. Have you read the book Forbidden Archaeology? They found some things in the United States or in America, North America, that are older than some of the things they found in what you're calling Africa. They found things under the North Pole. There's a whole tropical jungle under the North Pole, frozen. How did it get there? Think about that for a second. How big is the ocean? You think they've discovered everything under the ocean? They know all the beings under the ocean? There's all kind of beings under the ocean. Do you know about the mer people? The nomos? Remember the old movie, The Creature from the Black Lagoon? The gill man? Well, they just made a new version of it. The Shape of Water. I was shocked when I saw it. I was like, whoa. This is what they talk about. The nomos, the Dogons talk about these beings that came from Sirius that were aquatic. The Shape of Water. Took all the awards. People were upset because Get Out didn't get them all. It's very interesting, y'all. So there's a lot to be learned. But you have to be in a time-space continuum capsule so that you are not affected and affected by the stuff that they're throwing at you that the world is emitting and admitting to be truth. And most of it is to keep most people blind, deaf, dumb, controlled, to keep people out of their own dimension. You got to create your own vibration. You have to first have a goal. Most people have no real goal. They have short-term ones. They just, I'm going to go to work today. I got to be there on time. Well, is that your whole life, this job? Going to work? Job? That comes from Job. And Job, I remember in church, they were talking about he was in some argument with an angel. He was having some troubles. Job, job, just over broke. I mean, I'm not saying that you may not have to have one right now, but what is your plan? That's why you retire, because you're so tired. You're tired again. Now you just sit around, they give you a watch, and you sit there and just die and dry up. A goal. You must have a goal, a big goal, a short-term goal, a mid-term goal, and a long-term goal. That's the gold mine. When they said they were searching for gold, the goal is gold to your subconscious. In order to have a goal, you got to vibrate your brain and focus on this thing and imagine it as if it's now. You've got to crystallize it. This is called the Christ vibration. Has nothing to do with the dude on the cross. This is you on the cross. If you're in the crossroads and you get stuck in you stay out in the crossroads in the middle of the street and see what happens. You're going to get run over from 4 different directions. You got to get off the cross. Otherwise, your own people are going to kill you. Your own people will string you out to dry and leave. So you got to first become your own person and fill your cup up. And first you must be selfish or self-caring and take care of yourself and get yourself together as much as possible. And then find one other person maybe. And then maybe 2 other people. And then where those gather, we can know more. We can see more because we begin to operate in a grid, a crystal liquid grid. So as we move into this equinox, which is extremely important this year because of the shift that happened when we moved into a brand new age from the eclipse. This is the first one since the eclipse. It's high vibrational. It's year 2018. You add up the numbers and you get an 11. It's an elevated year. Have you noticed how elevated it is? Have you noticed the people? Look at the movies and the shows coming out. You don't think Disney knew about this? They knew. Put this out right now. They know timing. They know the rhythm. They knew exactly when to put it out. Had nothing to do with Black History Month. I don't even know what Black History Month is about. I'm not sure what it's about. I'd like to talk about Black Right Now Month. We have Black Right Now? What's happening right now? Let's celebrate what's happening right now. I'm not saying that the ancestors and people that did great things, okay, that's very good. What are we going to do right now? Can we even do what they did? We're talking about pyramids. Can you build one? Build a little one, just a small one, just in your driveway, perfect dimensions. Can you do it? No. But you can do something just as great right now in your own self. But you must have a big goal. So as you move into this particular equinox, it has elevated energy. This is a quantum. Some of you can hear it. You can taste it. I talked to a man yesterday who's had diabetes for 20, 30 years. Eyesight was gone and everything. And he decided when Mr. Gregory left to stop eating. The only thing he drinks is some, a protein drink, which is all plant matter. I think it's pea protein and a few other things. And a colon cleanser and water. So he's lost 60 something pounds. His eyesight is coming back. He's out walking 40 blocks now. That's deep. Stop eating. Stop taking in so much information. Stop reading for a minute. You've been reading other people's information. So a lot of times that can block at a certain level the information coming to you. I'm not saying don't read. I'm saying that you need to take a break at times so that you can read your own DNA. It's the books. It's connected directly to the center of the galaxy. Because the biophotons, which are traveling through space and time, are feeding you information from the etheric realm. We're connected directly into the natural Ethernet. Information traveling faster than light. Thought travels at 770 billion miles per second. I don't know how they measured it, but I guess they did. So this particular equinox is time to celebrate wonderful things. You should be preparing right now for what it is you desire. What is it you truly desire? This is the time for cleansing, detoxification, letting go, creating, recreating, rebuilding, recycling. Be like the captain. Check around the ship to see if there's any leaks, because your body's a vessel. Prepare. For what? Everything. Get your business in order. You want to be the boss? You want to be the CEO? You're going to be up late. And you may have your regular job, your second job, and then you got your own business too. Stop complaining. Get up early. Get the huffing and puffing. It's the only way you're going to blow this house down. The house that you lived in. Because it ain't yours. The house that you lived in. You didn't own it. You was a renter. I'm talking about your home, your mindset. You were renting, so you might as well tear it down. Break the windows out. Break the walls and the doors and the floors. Go down until you get to the concrete. This is roomy, by the way. Go down to the concrete. Dig up the foundation that your home, your house was built upon. Dig it up. And even when you get down to the dirt, take that pickaxe and keep digging even deeper. And you're going to get way down till you get to these carnelian crystals. Those are yours. See, the carnelian has a lot to do with your thought process, has a lot to do with your brain. Carnelian, the crystal stone. They vibrate a lot like your brain, your thought pattern, your creativity vibrates. So go get you some carnelian. And now build a new home, build new ideas, new skyscrapers. Stop saying the sky is the limit. The sky is not the limit. Stop being between a rock and a hard place. What the heck is that? What do you mean you're between a rock and a hard place? Man told me that, if he didn't have bad luck, he wouldn't have none at all. I said, well, get out. Why are you in my office? Don't bring none of it up in here. Not to be you mean sometimes. I'm not mean. I'm telling you the truth. You cursing. Huh? You're just putting a spell on things. Huh? So we got to learn how to speak again. In fact, don't say nothing for a while. Go silent. Silence is golden. You begin to go silent. Some people do these silent retreats for 10 days, 5 days. Some people can't be silent for 24 hours. This lady told me she went on a silent retreat. And I said, well, what did you do? All I did was search the internet. I said, huh? Yeah, Facebook and enter such and such. And, I got this new thing. It's a social media player that pulled. I was like, lady, you were not silent. You were being programmed and downloaded. That's not your face on that book. I could go into that forever. And people, if you're trying to contact me, by the way, do not try to contact me through Messenger. I'm not using Facebook Messenger. I'll use Facebook for business, but I'm not answering you and talking to you. I'm not going to turn on Facebook Messenger. Get my email, docb737@gmail.com. That's docb737@gmail.com. Why don't they talk like that in the commercials and in the news? Back to you, Jim. Back to you. Because when you hear that, you hear like this, non-regional voice. It's supposed to be powerful because they're speaking that way to you. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight on the news at 6 o'clock, the 6 o'clock news, they will hang you with that voice. Speak with some rhythm. You know what I'm saying? You need tone. You know what I'm saying? What's happening? How you doing? What's going on, brother? Now, what you say? Top of the morning to you. Make it sing. Sing, dance, celebrate, jubilee. This is the time, y'all. I wouldn't miss this boat. I'm just really, I really feel fortunate to be here at this particular time when this whole thing shifts. Doesn't seem like it because you keep turning on the news and they keep telling you how it's getting worse. Every day is some new law, or they get rid of something, or they do something. That's what they do. They play games. It's a courtyard. You see? It's a courtyard. It's a game. So yeah, there's a lot going on out there, but the more you're conscious of it, does that help you with what you're doing? What are you really here to do? This equinox, it's about you doing what you came here to do for real. Take your business idea and get it cracking. These people got businesses. It's like 3-4 businesses in my home right here where we are right now. Right now, my family, everybody in my family's got something going on. And I didn't tell them what to do. They just woke up and said, well, you know, we're going to do this. Why not? You can have a business now on the internet, selling ideas, downloads, or whatever it is. If you're tired of working in the mailroom, focus on being at the top office. There's people that have done this. And nowadays, you don't necessarily need a whole education or de-education because some of the richest people in the world don't have one. They're successful and they think out of the box. I'm not saying don't get an education, get one if you can get one, but I'm saying you don't need one. You don't have legs, you don't need legs. There's people with no legs that can do more than people with legs. There's people with no arms that can do more than people with arms. My mother did more from a wheelchair. She got the Teacher of the Year award every year over the teachers that had much more than her. She was there early, she left late. Sometimes we just got too many excuses. Get rid of them. Let them go. Let go of excuses and its cousin, the saboteur. Get the book Think and Grow Rich and get let's go straight to the last chapter. I think it's called The 6 Ghosts of Fear. Because we've been programmed to be very fearful. Come on. Think about it now. You wake up in the morning. Are you still angry? After you come to consciousness, it takes about 11 seconds for you to figure out who you are and get all your stuff out the closet. How many skeletons in your closet did you go get out the closet this morning? Some folks wake up angry, go to sleep angry. Wake up mad, go to sleep mad. Some folks go to sleep, they haven't forgave. They go to bed and wake up again, never forgiving anyone that ever gave them anything. Haven't forgiven themselves, haven't forgiven them families, haven't forgiven the newsman, the people in politics. Somebody lost me? Y'all got me? Am I still live? Sometimes I go into these modes and everything goes dead. You know, I start becoming the holistic minister and things go awry. Am I still there? Can y'all still hear me? Say yes if you can still hear me. If you can still hear me, say yes. Yes, yes, yes. Back. Sometimes you wake up and you wake up mad. Why are you mad when you woke up? You got a brand new day. You're supposed to recycle, refresh. Huh? Each day, attempt to let it go. Because if you hold on to it, it becomes cargo on your ship. And the captain must be ready to throw the cargo over the ship. The captain must be ready to get rid of the pirates, huh? If you're the pilot, then you got to get rid of the pirates, huh? The pirate. Didn't they say the man died on Pi Day? Stephen Hawking died on Pi Day. What is this thing about pi? It's a number that has no end. 3.14 and is 999999999. A pie rat. That means never-ending rats. What do rats eat? The leftovers, the trash. How many pie rats do you have in your life? How many pirates are you letting ride on your ship, on your vessel that you carry? Here you're an eagle hanging out with pigeons all day. I'm talking about you's a dolphin, but you're hanging out with shrimps. Worried about what the shrimp said. You have got to wake up and change everything. Put those ideas in motion. If you got a computer or a cell phone, $100 and a roof over your head, you have more than 80% of the people in the world. You're actually rich. Sometimes we forget how good it is. You start complaining about how rough it is in America. Well, you go to some of these other places. You ain't got to go that far either. This place is right here in America where it is serious. Because people have been put under pressure from so many different regimes. But only we could change this. Only we can stop it. Somebody told me the other day, they said they had to slow down on that Me Too, that whole Me Too thing, because that was everybody. Me too. Me too. You've been through something? Me too. Me too. Yes. People have been through molestation on a mental, spiritual level for a long time, just from the television. That television will rape you with no grease and go in through your head and drop in between your conscious and your subconscious mind and rattle around and pop up later and have you acting, reacting, and out-acting yourself. You got to get a hold of yourself. You got to get a grip now. Minister, handle your business, handle the details. You handle them. You handle them. You got to be an accountant. You got to count the money. What do you mean you take your money and give it to the accountant and he tells you how much money you got? I had an accountant. He counted all my money up. $500,000 was missing all of a sudden. And it must be a miscount. He's like, nope, I did everything. We had to pay the taxes. We paid everything, Mr. B. And that's how much you owe the government. Huh? I let him count it. Because I didn't know how to count. I didn't want to count all this money. There's too many lines and dots and numbers get jumbled in my head, especially after I get past thousands. You know, we get a problem when we start millions and billions and trillions. Our tongue gets twisted. We get nervous because some of us don't feel worthy of being wealthy. So the saboteur and his cousin, poor, broken, lonely, pop up. You begin to descend down into the valley and stay there and think you're supposed to live at the bottom of the hill and look up at the people living at the top of the hill. You have to live at the top of the hill in your mind. Your imagination. I am a nation of genies. Your imagination is what tells your genes what to do. Even though you're not there right now, if you can focus on it, if you can crystallize that imagination, that's what Christ means, to crystallize imagination. You're going to have to first be the caterpillar crawling around doing nothing but eating. After a while, that caterpillar goes into the cocoon, the chrysalis, the crystal cave, the black crystal cave. It darkens itself. It's in silent mode. It stops talking. It is not on the internet. It's not sitting there on Facebook while it's in the cocoon. Could you imagine that? How the butterfly would come out? He'd be a moth. That's pretty good. Anyway, that cracked my own self up. Oh, gosh. So, the caterpillar eats and eats and eats. Doesn't have any reproductive organs, doesn't go out to play, doesn't go to the movies. All it does is eat. Then it begins to die, goes into cocoon. The imaginal cells inside the caterpillar begin to come alive. The imaginal cells inside that caterpillar, they begin to create something new. They can imagine something new. You must go into a silent state and create something new in your mind first, in the darkness, in the endarkenment, in the meditation, in between. The meditation is the cessation of thought. You got to stop thinking so you can get a new thought. Some of us are not quiet enough. You might need to get a verse from your Bible and read that, or the Quran, or the Bhagavad Gita, or something from the Torah, or the whatever book, or whatever. Get some beads and count your beads. Just count your beads and breathe. So you could get into a meditative state in between places, the in-between world. Get in the theta state, which is in between sleeping and awake. That's where things happen. That's where your imagination comes online, huh? You wake up in the morning, you have a pencil and a pen right there and something to write on so you can write some of those dreams down, because that stuff is coming from the etheric realm. These are the things that you're doing to prepare for your equinox, so you can become equal and learn about equality. Being equal and balanced with yourself, forgiving yourself, letting go of all this stuff. Even your parents were just elaborate hosts for a while. They gave you what they could. Were you still mad at them? I got these wealthy people come to me. They're mad because their parents was wealthy. Yeah, they're upset, pissed, because they was born with a golden platter under them. They're pissed. I just wanted to be regular. The boy was a multimillionaire when he was 12 years old. He's pissed at his parents. That's what happens with the boy, Tony, what was his name? Robbins, John Robbins. The daddy gave him Baskins and Robbins. He threw it back at him. Said, I don't want it. After they watch what they do with those cows, how they torture those animals. Talking about this is a happy place, 46 flavors. I used to work there. In fact, I think that was the last job I had. Was it 1980 something? I can't remember. But after I saw that, we went to the place. I was like, whoa, what? You know how many chemicals and poisons? I couldn't even breathe in the factory. It was choked. I said, how do y'all breathe? They had special mask on. I said, we can't breathe in the ice cream factory? Put this mask on. And what are y'all cleaning the containers out with? We don't even think about that. I see people on here introducing themselves. It's good. Go on and introduce yourself. Introduce yourselves. In fact, you might as well put your phone number up there and put what business you're in or what business you'd like to be in. This is a community, huh? This is not a community because that's broken up. Let's make it a commune. Let's start a new nation right now. Since you're on here, right? Tell folks who you are. Put your phone number up on there. Put your business card. Well, you can't put your business card. That would be good if we could do that. But let people know what you do. People may need your services. Feel free to do that. You know, people say, but Dr. B, you shouldn't do that. You know, I have these people that talk business to me. They say, but Dr. B, you shouldn't tell people to do that because this is your world and you want them to come and service and work with you and not have, advertise other people. What kind of world is this? Why I got to be all alone and just be me? Okay. Somebody's asking about herbalist class. Yes, we're working on the herbalist class that is coming soon. Yes, we did it once, actually twice in Los Angeles. We filmed it. We're going to be editing that. In fact, I'm looking for an editor. If anybody is a serious film editor, I need top flight film editor, then get in touch with me, Dr. B, because we're looking for somebody to edit our herbalism class. And there is a new herbalism class that we will be doing here in Atlanta. One in Atlanta and one in Los Angeles is coming up soon. As soon as I find all the people and the components that I need to put it together so that I can focus on just channeling information. Okay? So keep me, for folks that really do stuff. I need folks that really do stuff that's going to be serious. I used to have these volunteers, and volunteers just want to eat lunch. All they want is the vegan salad. Dr. V, you gonna have the vegan salad soon? Yo, just volunteering to get the vegan salad. Now you make a good vegan salad, Dr. V. It had everything in it, everything from the garden. After they eat that, they sleep through. So I'm looking for people that really do things for real and are gonna keep their word. Read that book, The Four Agreements. Don Miguel Ruiz. And when you're done with that, get the fifth agreement. Woo! The Equinox. This one is like a launching pad. Everything takes off like a rocket. It's actually not just the 20th. It's starting now. Can't you feel it? Especially if you went to go see the movie. You know, the movie now. If you say the movie, people already know you mean Black Panther. The movie. The movie. Oh, God, that was a good one. A lot of information in that movie. A lot of information. You could decode and decode. The folks who put that together really had a lot of information, and that's only a piece. Okay. So, a lot of times I get questions about the products that I offer that are for cleansing, detoxification, and rejuvenation. And I sometimes kind of fall short on explaining everything clearly that these products do and what they're about, because my thing is usually, I'm always, I'm energized, I'm pumped up, and I can't focus on that. But today I've promised, I've worked on this, I've practiced so that I could talk about some of these products that you can put in your system that will help you be part of this huge cosmic wave that is beginning right now, starting at the equinox, and will continue for the rest of your life. What you do now, the seeds that you plant now, will help you for the rest of your life. I guarantee you. Just try it. I'm not saying to trust me. I'm saying do it. Try it. You see? Yes, I like it. Folks up here putting their names and numbers and information up here. This is beautiful. Congratulations. Go for it. Spread the love. Spread the business. Do what you do. And if you do nothing, then do nothing. Don't come to me and say, well, Dr. B, I do this. Tell me you do nothing. Because I could use you. I need somebody that does nothing. I need a driver sometime that does nothing. He don't talk. Every time I hire a driver, what he's talking. Well, Dr. B. Now, you had a lecture back in 2000, Dr. B. I'm trying to he's supposed to be a driver, right? Now, I really like what you say, Dr. B. Now, there's a drink you're drinking. In the year 2000, there's this orange drink that you're drinking in the video. 2000? A drink I'm drinking? Can you drive the car? I need silent time. I need to be focused. Can you not ask me any questions right now? Call me, set up a consultation, or come to a lecture, or get on one of these webinars. Though sometimes we're not thinking on a broad level because we've had so much going on. There's like confusion. There's like wires, static all over the place. So let's truly do what you do. Keep your word. Always do your best. Don't take things personal. Don't assume anything. Fifth agreement, be skeptical, not of other people per se, you. Be skeptical of what you're thinking. Be skeptical of what you're thinking about yourself and how you see yourself, with yourself, about you, with you. Because a lot of times you're not even clear your own self. Whew. Somebody said something about a special price that I mentioned. The special price is on the website. If you go to the website right now, there's special prices on many of the items that I mentioned on the Kyle Nelson show. Go to elevationtime.com and there's special prices. So let's talk about clearing your energy field so that as you move into this next degree, this next vibration, this next paradigm, you are not carrying the toxicity from the last paradigm. So what we traditionally would do every time the seasons change, people all over the world would do a parasite cleanse. This is my total body para-cleanse program. It's 28 days. This is how it comes. Comes with a little booklet. The booklet tells you how to take it. It's 28 days. There are herbs in here to help detoxify and rejuvenate. See, many of the cleansers out there are cleansers, and cleansers can be toxic only because they cleanse things from your cells, but they may not be able to release it. If your liver, your kidneys, your spleen, your skin, and your breath work is not correct, then you cannot release the toxins that you've moved from your cells. Okay, so we have to open up the channels of elimination. So in this 28-day circadian rhythm program, circadian rhythm has to do with the moon. 28 days is a circadian rhythm because the moon makes a sound. It's a song as it goes around the earth. It sings and it makes the tides go high and low. All of the animals, all of the plants, especially the parasites, live within this rhythm. So in order to get rid of these parasites, which are like the pirates, right? Then you have to interrupt their feeding and mating cycle in their sleep cycle. So that's a 28-day cycle that parasites live in. Parasites cause most of the issues that we have physically. If they don't cause the issue, then they block the entranceway or block your immune system or your circulation or your glands from working correctly so they can fix other issues. So if you've got an issue in your body and then you've got parasites, then you've compounded the issue. You see, so parasites is one of the main things that I've been working with since 1996 when I had a experience. That's a whole nother story. We won't get into that tonight, but we'll talk about it soon. Cleansing and detoxifying from parasites. What you find mostly is people using cloves, wormwood, black walnut, things like that, and cloves, wormwood, black walnut, cloves, and there's another one that people use a lot. Castor oil, things like that, turpentine. Those may only work on colon parasites in the colon or the digestive tract. Systemic parasites live throughout the system. They're systemic throughout the system. They live in all of the organs. It is more challenging to get to those particular organs. And you need those organs to be singing and playing the right musical notes. They are organs, and they help you organize your life so that you can spring forward in the spring. So if you're carrying the toxins and the parasites from the winter into the spring, then your spring forward movement is slowed down. It's impaired. So it is very important and imperative that during the spring you do a cleanse so that you can set your energy up and project your energy towards your goal for the rest of the year. Follow me now? Are you following me? Say yes if you got me so far. I need a yes. Are you with me? I'll drink a little tea as some of you say yes. Are you with me? I know sometimes I speak a little fast and y'all having conversations with each other. Look, you need to focus on what I'm talking about right here. So you won't be asking the questions later talking about, well, Dr. B, what did you say? If you don't get it now, then you won't get it because some of the stuff I can't repeat. You can see that. It's coming through. Okay? Good. Cam, which Cam is that? Is that Cam the rapper? I saw Cam on there. If that's Cam the rapper, please let me know that's you. Or is that a different Cam? If it is, forgive me. An old friend, Cam, a very powerful rapper I've known from back in the days. But anyway, this is the Total Body Paracleanse program. There's one for women and there's one for men. It is different. The difference is the one for women has Sacred Womb. Sacred Womb is a tonic, which means it's a tonifier. It's an adaptogenic formula, which helps the feminine tissue. It helps the woman balance her feminine tissue, which is very unique. A woman has mitochondria that she can pass to her children. Men have mitochondrial DNA, but they can't pass it. Those things need to be nurtured. Her system needs to be nurtured in a certain way. And this Sacred Womb helps her rejuvenate her womb, which is her room, which is her temple. The womb is a temple. Be careful what you're writing on the walls of the temple. So the female one has this Sacred Womb. The male one has something called Timeless Man. It helps to rejuvenate the reproductive system of the man. It helps him with his stamina. It helps him his standing rod. It helps him his flag so that he can fly a high flag. It helps open up the circulation, those very small blood vessels. So, this is East Coast Cam, different Cam. Okay. All right. So, yes, the Timeless Man comes in the male program. Sacred Womb comes in the female program. You're going to get 2 bottles of Quantum Paracleanse. Let me put this down so I can show you. The Quantum Paracleanse, you get 2 of those in your program. And what they do is they set up a vibratory rate, which causes the parasites to lose sight of their goal. It confuses them. It diffuses their signals. It doesn't necessarily kill them. It confuses them. The whole system must be bought as a system to actually eradicate them. So you have 2 bottles because you're going to rhythmically step it up. The first day, 1 squeeze, 1 dropper. You can put it in your mouth or in water. 2 days, 2 droppers. The third day, 3 droppers. You're stepping it up and you're hunting the parasites. If the parasites know you're coming to get them, they will hide. They are 2 billion-year-old creatures that know about survival and survival. Brand new word, y'all. They know how to thrive. They know your rhythm. They know the rhythms of the sun, the moon, the stars, and they know your rhythm. That's why they call them parasites. They live beside you. So this particular formulation must be stepped up gradually. When you get to day 6, you're taking 6 droppers. You reach critical mass. Then you stay on 6 because you open the second bottle, right? And 2 weeks, and you stay on 6. And it goes on for 28 days, a full moon cycle. You must also move the colon, which they call peristalsis, which is the muscles of the colon, to begin to move some of this matter out, some of the decay, and some of the dead tissue of parasites, so that we get something called lax ease in the program. Lax ease. Okay, Lax Ease is a mild colon cleanser. This is for busy people that don't want to be running to the bathroom at every meeting and they can't really handle their business. You can't ride on the bus long because you got to grip your hips together and hold it in tight because it's coming blasting out. You know, there are some colon cleansers that are like that, but we decided to go down the middle. And if you need something stronger, then you can pick up one. The one I really like that's in the stores is called Trifala. Or Trifala, which actually moves the energy in the liver, in the gallbladder, and tells it to tell your colon to release. It works differently than any other colon cleanser. So if you're finding that you're taking the Lax Ease and you're not going as much as you'd like, maybe go get some Trifala. Also, Dr. Goss has CKLS. Dr. Goss is a person who influenced me a lot in Los Angeles. He has a great product, CKLS. I love it. Okay. Also in your program, you're going to get something called New Life. New Life has your minerals and your vitamins, or your vital nutrients, your vital nutrients. It's called New Life. And this one helps to break up mucoid plaque. It helps to move the energy, clean the blood. If you get rid of parasites and you don't have a blood cleanser, then you're going to have toxic blood. So that's called New Life. Let's see. Then there's something called Tranquility comes in your total body cleanse. Tranquility helps you sleep. When you're getting rid of parasites, they will put ammonia gas. Their dead tissue emits ammonia gas. That's the rotting tissue of the parasites. So you'll be gassy. In fact, a lot of folks call me and say, Dr. B, I'm really gassy taking this cleanse. That's because you got a lot of parasites dying off. That's parasite die-off. You see? So the Tranquility helps to relieve some of that gas. If it doesn't do it enough, and you find that you wake up in the morning and your sheets have blown off the bed, and you find that you're sitting on the toilet in the bathroom and incense and candles won't burn, there's a whole lot of funk going on in that bathroom. Then you might need to go get you some charcoal, get some activated charcoal tablets of charcoal tablets. Oh, God, this is fun. You got to have some fun, y'all. Laugh. Woo! Tranquility helps you sleep deeply, helps you get into a REM sleep. When you're healing, you must go into a REM sleep, because if you don't have rapid eye movement, REM sleep, then your body is never truly healing. Most people in North America or in the Western world are not sleeping deeply, especially if they got the cell phone there and they got the alarm on, they got to wake up at a certain time, then you're not sleeping deeply. So Tranquility helps you sleep deep and helps to remove some of the gas. It helps to shift the L-ornithine, L-arginine cycle in your body, which is another part of digestion, and also helps your system rejuvenate quicker. You also get a tooth powder. This helps to get rid of the parasites that live in your mouth. You can't do a parasite cleanse and not kill the parasites that live in your mouth, because that's where they go when they're running. You just do a colon parasite cleanse, they run to your mouth. You know, when you wake up in the morning, you had that terrible taste, oh my God, and your pillow done turned brown in one spot. I'm joking, y'all. But it smells like it sometimes because there's so much funk coming from the breath, because your body detoxifies also through the breath. So this helps to get rid of the parasites that live in your mouth. It helps to get rid of the plaque. The plaque is really important. Okay, people love this tooth powder because it's like going to a dentist. My dentist in Los Angeles used to buy a whole case of this. He wouldn't use any fluoride because he knew fluoride was rat poison. But this helps to beef up the calcium levels in your teeth. You see, where fluoride seems to break it down. Yes. So this is a tooth powder. You got to kill the parasites in your mouth. Otherwise, they move to your mouth when you're trying to get rid of them, and then they ride the food back down to your digestive tract, and they're back. I haven't seen any cleanse as extensive as this one. You also get a Sirius, what is it called? Be Serious liver powder. You've got to balance your kidneys, your liver, and spleen by giving them the ingredients they need to rejuvenate themselves. This comes in the program. Now, this is only going to last you 2.5 to 3 weeks. So a lot of folks call and say, well, Dr. B, I'm out of the liver powder. Well, you're out of it because the liver needs to rest. See, a lot of people are doing this cleanse for 3 months straight, 3 moon cycles, because they would like to go deep and do a deep intracellular cleansing. Deeper and deeper into the cells takes 3 months. So if you're doing that, you've got to let the liver rest for a week or so. So you're taking this, you take a tablespoon a day, a level tablespoon. It's going to last about maybe 2.5 to 3 weeks. And then you keep taking the rest of your program for the rest of the 28 days and drinking lots of water. On the program, you're not eating animal products. You're a vegan vegetarian. You'll get a booklet that tells you exactly what to eat and what to stay away from. 28-day program to actually change your life. A good time to start it is right around the equinox. If not right on it, sometime in March. Or even if you got to wait till April showers, wait till April. But every time the seasons change, this is the time to cleanse. Someone says, can you do this product if you're pregnant? No, you cannot, because these herbs are very strong adaptogens, and they may look at the baby and say, this is a parasite. You see, some people look at their children. Lady told me the other day she got parasites at the house, and she was talking about her children. I don't know how she got that idea because she had them. But some people, don't realize that you're the host for your children. And this will actually clear out some of that energy. So I would not do this if I was pregnant. If you're pregnant and you'd like to do something gentle, then you give me a call. We can talk about something you can put together. This program is for people. People do it for children 10 and up, you see. And for if you have any major illnesses or even minor illnesses, cleanse, detoxify, do like a total body para-cleanse program. There's a bunch of programs out there where they try to copy, people. I give out the formulas. I say, go try to make it. Nobody's made it because there's a secret ingredient called me in it. But it's one of the best because we're not just using herbs. We're using flower essences. We're using essential oils. We're using magnetic resonance. We're using frequencies. Even the symbol, the flower of life symbol that's on every one of these products changes the frequency resonance on it. This is sacred geometry. This is one of the most sacred geometry shapes there is. So it sends out a signal and protects and encapsulates the energy field around the herbs. Yeah, this is some metaphysical science. It took many, many, many years to come up with all of this. You just can't put your herbs in a bottle. I'm an herbalist. I'll be teaching the courses lately and soon. And I'll be, talking about the metaphysics of herbalism. There's a lot of things to study here if you really like your product to be effective rather than just put some stuff in a bottle and give it to the people because you heard that this particular herb does that. Herbs work in families and groups. Just certain things you don't mix together, certain things you don't take at the same time. They cancel each other or cause something that you weren't expecting. This program is pretty mild, but it's very strong because I'm using adaptogens. These herbs adapt to your body. It's a special classification of herbs called adaptogens or tonics. That is my specialty, dealing with adaptogenic herbs. Things like golden seal are not adaptogenic. You see, it is very raw. It's like dropping an atom bomb. You see, now there's times you may need that, but doing that often is going to destroy your intestinal flora. Your intestinal flora has a lot to do with your thought process. It has a lot to do with your life. It has a lot to do with how you digest food. So if you kill them off, you got to replace them. And a lot of the probiotics out there are made with dairy, especially if they got, what is it called? Acidophilus. Most of that is made in milk. So it's a milk byproduct. People of color, anybody with any melanin in their skin cannot digest just milk after the age of 5. Why would you? You're supposed to drink your mother's milk until 5 and you're done. You see? Now, someone told us that we needed cheese. That's because, people want the caseomorphate, which is a morphine type substance that's in milk and dairy. And there's a lot of it concentrated in cheese. People get high off that cheese. Cheese and wine, that's like having opium. Caseomorphate is in milk. It's in mother's milk. It anesthetizes the children or the child when they're drinking, because when they're crying and they're in pain sometimes for just coming into this world, because there's a lot of noise, a lot of energy coming into this world. That's why the children cry, and they cry out for mother. They cry out for that milk so they can be anesthetized and get a little high. Between oxytocin, and that caseomorphate, the children's are high. They're the children of the most high. Anyway, this program is called the Total Body Program. It's been around since 1996. It has been one of our best sellers. But what we noticed that there were a lot of people dealing with this issue of toxoplasmosis. Toxoplasma is a parasite that gets into the amygdala of the brain. The amygdala or the amygdala helps your perception. I should say, let me put it like this. It controls your perception of fear and anger and certain emotions. Well, toxoplasma starts out in the cat's body. The cats poo-poo it out. The rats eat the cat's poo-poo, and it's in the kitty litter, right? And then what happens is that particular parasite ends up in the mouse or the rat, and the mouse or the rat forgets that it's a mouse or a rat and is afraid of the wrong things, and it is not moving towards the proper things that a mouse would or a rat would do, like run from cats. So it doesn't run. Please look up toxoplasma or toxoplasmosis. Some people say, well, Dr. B, I don't have any cats. Well, you've eaten some meat, haven't you? Some animal products, right? From the feedlots, which was in your grocery store. They ought to call the grocery store feedlots. That would be a good name. Feedlots. You know what I'm saying? Attach it right to the, go through it, the butchers, where they're cutting up the animals, and then go in the front and buy. You probably wouldn't buy if you saw some of the things that I saw when I went to the feedlot and the butchery. But what happens is there's lots of cats and rats all over the ground at the feedlots. Wherever there's mice and rats, there's going to be cats. So the cows, the chickens, and the pigs, and the goats, and the sheep are eating this fecal matter from cats and rats. They don't clean it up. It's not clean there. This is one of the nastiest places on earth. So this is how toxoplasma got into the food supply. Toxoplasma makes you forget who you are. It domesticates the animals. They don't even run away because of toxoplasma. Toxoplasma has you focusing on things that you don't even understand and afraid of things that cannot hurt you. You're talking about the government. They haven't even been to your house. There's some things that you need to govern in your house. So toxoplasma has you focusing on some things that aren't making the biggest difference for you. Because survival will kill you. Survival will kill you. Just trying to survive will kill you. You've got to thrive. If you're in survival mode, that means you're in protection mode. That means you're in fear mode. It makes you inferior after a while. You get an inferiority complex, and you start talking about who's supreme and who's better, who's got what. You become jealous. Toxoplasma, they say, infects 70% of the people, whether they got cats, rats, or whatever, because it's in the food supply. I've even heard a rumor, I don't know how true it is, that they use it in the shots for the troops. They inoculate the troops? No. That's what Dr. Sapolsky talks about. Dr. Sapolsky, one of the top biologists on the planet, he really talks about toxoplasma. Look him up. Look up toxoplasma in humans, and you'll see one of these videos. There's a guy with a beard. Listen to him. Toxoplasma is serious, and this is what's wrong with a lot of the people. This is why people are angry. This is the road rage, people running off and shooting up folks and kill. It's toxoplasma. It's a parasite that takes over. It's very intelligent. We have been taken over by this parasite. We have been invaded. This has been an invasion for 6,000 years. It could only come when we were far away from the center of the galaxy. The toxoplasma could only come around in the last 6,000 years when we were far away from the center of the galaxy, living in the fall of man. It's a parasite. It's a very intelligent creature. In fact, there's many parasites that are very intelligent. There's a book called Your Brain on Parasites. Please pick that up. It's a brand new book. They got a new a new section of science. It's called psychoparasitology. And they've now realized that parasites control the psychology of man. They say even religion, governments, cultures have all been controlled by certain groups of parasites or the fear of the disease of parasites. Please get that book. It is very powerful. One of my favorite books. It is called Your Brain on Parasites. And they got a whole section just on toxoplasma. So we realized that toxoplasma was a serious situation because, you talk to certain people and they got the same talk. They still got the same issues. It's like a tape deck. Folks are just mad all the time. You see what I'm saying? Angry all the time, fearful all the time. That could just be toxoplasma. Once you get toxoplasma out of your brain, you begin to rise. You stop taking drugs and all kind of stuff. You get toxoplasma out. You stop needing so much support and you start being supportive. So what we did was we realized that there were certain mushrooms to help get rid of parasites. Of actually this particular one. Because see, there's the blood-brain barrier, which stops a lot of herbs from going to your brain. There's very few herbs that can pass this protective filter, which keeps blood clear and clean and it refreshes the blood before it filters the blood rather before it gets to the brain, because the brain is very sensitive. But this parasite has a way of fooling the filter. Well, mushrooms, there are 9 very special medicinal mushrooms that can begin to make spores that pass the blood-brain barrier. So I had this product called the Master Mushroom Tonic. I've had it for years. 9 mushrooms, helps to clean up organic matter in the body, dead decaying tissue, just like mushrooms do in nature. They grow on trash. You see? So I had this particular product and people loved it. They said, man, you put this with the parasite cleanse, Dr. B. It's great. I was like, really? So I was talking to Mr. Gregory one day and he says, man, that Master Mushroom Tonic, he said, man, that need to be put in your program. I was like, really? So we created a new program. I think this was early last year. It is called the Elevated Total Body Program. The Elevated Total Body Program has the Mushroom Tonic, which goes deeper and deeper into your cells because the mushrooms can recognize your DNA. Because 60% of your DNA you share with mushrooms. These mushrooms are your ancient relatives. We may have come here as spores like mushrooms. Yes, there's a lot of science saying that may be the way we came here. The mycelium, the mushrooms, they're much more intelligent than we are. They are. We have no idea, and they tap directly into the etheric realm, the akasha, the mushrooms, the mycelium. Nothing can grow on the planet without mushrooms. Okay. That's how important they are. You couldn't have a tree grow without mushrooms converting the minerals in the soil into sugars that the plant needs. So the Master Mushroom Tonic became one of our, superior, best-selling product. Can you see that? Tonic means that it's an adaptogen. It adapts. Most of your vitamin C out there is acidic. So your body's got to convert it into something alkaline before it can use it, which means that it's got to go through a whole lot of cycling and a whole lot of processing in your system so that you can cool that acid down to at least a neutral state. That's a lot of work. So you might be taking, 5,000 milligrams of vitamin C and actually only end up with a few milligrams in your blood. Now, when you're sick, that's actually good. Acidic vitamin C. If you got a cold or flu, take that ascorbic acid because it puts acid in your blood. And when you're sick, this is what your body is attempting to do, is to make acid to burn up any disease, especially like bugs, microorganisms and things like that. You see? So I'm not negating using ascorbic acid, but on a regular basis, it would be better to use something more alkaline. So this has camu camu berries. It has baobab, which is the fruit from Africa from the tree of life, which is a fruit that has protein, which is very high in an organic nascent type of or neutral type of vitamin C. It also has silver, colloidal silver, and copper so that it can be a superconductor. Far as we know, this is the only true tonifying tonic vitamin C we found. That's why I made it, because I couldn't find one. So we created it in the lab. So this actually will come with your total body program elevated. The elevated total body program has a master mushroom tonic and a vitamin C tonic. Now, your regular total body program is $199. It's been that price for many, many years. That is actually a discount. So people call asking for a discount. It is discounted. If you go find these herbs and put them all together, you're going to spend probably about $300. So $199 is your discount. Okay. When we add the mushroom tonic by itself is normally about $175. Some people say, well, Dr. B, I'm going to go find some of those mushrooms on my own. And they come back and they say, Dr. B, please give me that stuff. Because they realize that the mushrooms have to be processed a certain way. You have to boil certain mushrooms. Certain mushrooms, you have to put them in neutral, cool water. And certain mushrooms, you can only extract the spores using a certain type of alcohol in a certain room temperature. And then you've got to figure out how to combine these together at the right time. It is a serious process to get a mushroom tonic that is really effective. If you just put it in alcohol, you're going to kill off some of the spores that are actually effective. So there's 3 different ways to make this particular product, or three processes. And then we use 5 herbs. You know, one of them is astragalus, which connects into the astral realm. Another one is a plant that, you know, let's not get into the ingredients because I see we're running out of time and I'll be here for a while. But, you know, I'll talk about more of this when I do my herbal classes and do more talking just about the products. Today, I'm talking about the Equinox and cleansing, so I don't want to stay on one thing too long. But the Master Mushroom Tonic is $75 by itself. The Vitamin C Tonic by itself is $25, available at the website Elevation Time. But when you buy this as a system, if you added the Mushroom Tonic and the Vitamin C to the Total Body Program, it would be about $399. The special for this week is $349. That's a special. For those of you who heard the radio show the other day, for those of you who are listening, that's a special until Sunday. Until Sunday at 12 midnight. The sale is off. We normally don't do too many sales. We give you packages. You see what I'm saying? Packages. Programs. Whew. I'm also going to do a class on business at some point. I've been in my own business now since 1981. I've had several businesses, and there are some things that I know about the metaphysics of business that could help a lot of people. And one of the things we actually have to be careful of is getting people hooked on selling things a certain way. You see, so, you know, we'll talk about that, me putting together a metaphysical business class. So the elevated total body program is the one that's imperative for this season, so that you can get rid of your parasites and all that microbacteria in your body that is not working for you. It does not get rid of the friendly bacteria, the natural microbiome. You see, there's a natural microbiome in your body of the natural bacteria, a whole universe living in your body that actually is helping you live. Doesn't kill the friendly bacteria. Okay? This one is looking for parasites, creatures that are living on and around you and in you. There's over 2,000 different parasites that could live in your body. 2,000. You get them from door rails. You get them from breathing the air, kissing folks, making love to folks, you know, touching riding the escalator, pushing buttons. There's parasites everywhere. You can't get away from them. And I know some people say, well, I'm a vegan, Dr. B. I've been a vegan for 48 years. Vegans get parasites too. Parasites are not selective. They don't care what religion you are. They don't care what you're eating. H. pylori, that they used to say that, you know, it didn't exist, but they found out that's what causes ulcers. Helicobacter pylori. A lot of people have it. Okay, if you have that particular parasite, you need to call me, because there's something we need to add to this program, because Helicobacter pylori is a very sentient being. It is very intelligent, and it will outwit the program. Yes. Okay. Can we grow these herbs in subtropical regions? Is that a good business? Yes, growing herbs in subtropical business and areas is a good business if you can get them to the United States. So getting them to the United States is the issue, because they want you to powder it, they want you to dry it, they want to filter it, they want to do a lot of things to it. So yes, yes, that is a very good business to get into, growing herbs. So try to, some areas like, California, some parts of Florida, you can grow some of these subtropical plants there, and they do. We have, a pretty good garden out there in Los Angeles, and we do have a couple gardens that we get a lot of our products from now. And here in Atlanta, I'm growing a lot. Well, actually, I'm not growing anything. It's just growing in my yard. So I use a lot of plants from my yard that are just very powerful plants that the Chinese planted here when they were building the railroads. They brought a lot of their herbs here in Atlanta, a lot of them. Okay. Melvin says, Doc, I see that you have magnesium chloride back on your site. Yes, just as of today. Can you go into the product and how it differs from regular magnesium? Well, magnesium citrate is good for your colon, right? There's magnesium orotate, which is good. It gets into your cells. There's magnesium taurate. Magnesium taurate is good for your blood vessels in your heart. But magnesium chloride is the one that they give you if your blood pressure is high when you go to the hospital. It comes from the ocean. It's actually a liquid type of mineral. Magnesium is a feminine liquid mineral that regulates your hormones. It dilates your blood vessels. It opens up your blood supply and your capillaries so you can breathe, so that you have more circulation. It is a master mineral. It is a balancer of your life. Now, in order to have, to use magnesium, you need vitamin C, because vitamin C learns how to, vitamin C opens up your minerals and turns them on. So you need high doses of vitamin C. But the magnesium chloride you can spray on your skin, and your skin takes in the right amount of magnesium. Magnesium chloride. You've probably seen it in the stores, this magnesium spray. It's very good. Where ours differs is that I realized that we needed to have MSM, which is a type of sulfur, to get the skin cells. The skin is a membrane that has holes in it, as you know, but the cells of the skin are a brain. The largest brain in your body is actually your skin. And because we put so much toxins and so many of these creams and soaps and all this stuff on our skin has become closed. It's locked. So if you put certain types of sulfur, and MSM is a type of sulfur that grows in certain plants, right? When the tips of the plants start turning brown, like grasses, that is sulfur. That's why the dogs and cats, when they get sick, they go eat that sulfur, which is that MSM. You see? So MSM is a special type of organic sulfur, which helps the skin receive the actual nutrients like magnesium, but it also soothes your joints and your muscles. It relaxes them along with the magnesium. So this particular type of magnesium spray that we have has the activated MSM, but it also has fulvic acid. I don't think you're going to find this anywhere. Fulvic acid, MSM, and magnesium chloride spray. It is phenomenal. A lot of people are asking about it because they've been looking for it. We couldn't find a couple of the ingredients for a long time because the quality of the ingredients I use must be the best. I'm always looking for the best quality. Otherwise, I won't make the product. So this has been off of our website for maybe 6 months or more. But just the other day, we finally found the right ingredients again. I talked to the people, and we just put this together. Just before the show, I just finished bottling this. So this is magnesium oil. It is on the website. It is very powerful to spray on your skin to help balance your system. Something else that is very important is iodine. Iodine. Most people have a thyroid that is sluggish. The thyroid sets the rhythm and the frequency of your body and tells your heart how to beat. It also regulates the rhythm of all of your glands. All the blood in your body's got to go through your thyroid. So it begins to get clogged up over a while, becomes calcified, it becomes sluggish. So you need subatomic iodine. Now, you can get this from seaweed, but you got to eat a lot of seaweed. And where's your seaweed coming from? Make sure it's not coming from the coast of Japan. There is some organic seaweed that they grow, in other places. But the kind and the amount of seaweed we really need is a lot. So eat, wakame is good, nori is good. But I like just dropping these drops. You only need like 2 or 3 drops in a little bit of water. And you see the water just kind of burst into this color. It moves, right? It becomes alive because this is subatomic nascent iodine. Okay. We now have it back on the site. It has been gone also for about 6 to 9 months. Just put it back up today. And there's probably only a few bottles available because it's hard to get. Along with that magnesium, we don't get a lot of it. They only will send us a certain amount at a time. You see. Okay. Earlier I was talking about the gold, iridium, palladium, copper, and the product called Platinum Life Elixir. This is the Platinum Life Monoatomic Elixir. This one is for people who would like to repair their telomeres. The telomeres are the ends of the genes that fray off after about 30 years old. And the more stress you go through and the more toxic foods you eat, they break off even quicker and they cause you to age quickly. They cause your cells not to repair themselves as fast as they should. So we created this product many years ago, which has fulvic acid, humic acid, oxyfulvic, oxyhumic. It has gold, platinum, iridium, palladium, and copper all in a high spin state. This is also for people who would like to get rid of the heavy metals in the body. I don't know how else to get rid of heavy metals besides wrapping them with humic acid. That's what humic acid does. It will wrap up those heavy metals. This has shilajit from India, which is another type of humic acid. It also has mumia. Mumia is a humic acid which comes from the mountains of Russia, where these mountains are covered with red clover for thousands of years, and that begins to break down and degrade and becomes this humic acid which drips down the stalactites. It has all the minerals in it. Humic acid has all the minerals, and they're micronutrients, so it's higher than a superfood. But you've got to get the right filter type. This has that in it. This is a very, very, very important product for those who'd like to go to the next level. So it helps to get rid of heavy metals, helps with growing young. It helps to create a force field around your body, and it helps with intuition because it feeds the brain, those glands in your head that help you perceive things better. This product has been around for a while. It's called Platinum Life Monoatomic Elixir, and it's about $85, I think, on the website. Okay. Now, Mr. Gregory, as I gave him some, he drank half a bottle. Look. And he went in there and he did a presentation. He was supposed to do 3 hours. They couldn't get him off the stage. He's talking for 6 hours. When he's done, I'm saying, Mr. Gregory, what's going on? He says, man, that stuff you got right there is incredible. What is that? I said, it's Platinum Life Elixir. He says, man, I need more of that. He says, in fact, can you make me something stronger? I said, stronger, man. This is like, first of all, you were only supposed to take like 6 droppers. You drank like half the bottle. He says, man, look, we people who are on this level, who deal with this kind of energy, we need more. So I need you to take it and I need you to triple it. I said, Mr. Gregory, I don't know how. He says, you don't tell me what you don't know how to do. Close your mouth. You know, Mr. Gregory will go off on you. You go in that laboratory and figure out how to make that stuff. And I don't want to talk to you until it's done. And he walks off. What can you say? You know what I'm saying? Mr. Gregory. So I figured out how to triple the ingredients. And then I was looking at some hieroglyphs. And I asked the guy who knew all about the hieroglyphs, what about the little flowers in the corners of the hieroglyphs? And he said, what flowers? I said, look at those little flowers. What are those? He says, I don't know. They're probably just decorations. Nothing else you told me today was a decoration on these hieroglyphs? All of a sudden, this is a decoration? I don't think they're decorations. What is that flower? So I kept talking to people and they said, well, that's the blue lotus. Blue lotus? Blue lotus grows on the Nile. At night, it goes down in the mud, exists in the mud, and as soon as the sunlight hits the surface, it comes up, boom, and it hits the surface of the Nile River. All the bees and hummingbirds, everybody comes to get the nectar from the blue lotus. Now, there's white lotuses, pink lotuses, many different types of lotuses, but this particular one has that DMT effect, which ignites your pineal gland, which that says, yes, we're making it, we're doing it. There is no blockage. There is no lack, no limitation. Let's celebrate success. By the way, on the equinox, do you know that your pineal gland, if your pineal gland is working correctly, it begins to put out more serotonin than any other time of the year? Serotonin, it puts out a tone, a frequency. On the equinox, when Sirius is right above, blinking down, red, white, and blue, telling the pine trees to emit this pine pollen. This whole magical thing happens on the equinox. Now, if your pineal is working, and don't believe this talk about your pineal is calcified. I don't know nothing about that. Who told you that? It just maybe not be working correctly because you haven't vibrated it correctly. So get your vibranium right. You imagine that it's right. Say om, put your tongue at the roof of your mouth. Maybe do some yoga, some dancing, do some walking, some swimming. Your pineal is working because you probably wouldn't not be alive if your pineal wasn't working. It may not be working to its highest degree, but guess what? Blue lotus turns the pineal all the way on. Copper helps to feed it, and periwinkle causes it to shift between dimensions, causes your glands, your hormones to be able to have a dimensional leap, a dimensional shift. Woo! I want you to take that in for a second. This product has the periwinkle Mr. Gregory talked about, the copper he talked about. It also has palladium, white gold, and the blue lotus. That's the difference between the regular platinum, which is a phenomenal product, and the Platinum Life Monoatomic Triple Strength Gregory Reserve. This was the final piece. Now, we were making the product when it was called the Beckwith Reserve, but after Mr. Gregory left, after I received the information at the pine tree, I was causing myself to get into a slipstream in a flow state. I was allowing myself to go there and asking for his direction, and it pops in my head, the periwinkle. This is the last conversation we had. Periwinkle, copper, palladium. I was already using the blue lotus. So we came out with what's called the Gregory Reserve. We can't even keep this. This is like flying off the shelf because, before he passed, he talked a lot about this particular product. And since he said, over his dead body, even though he's not dead, we decided to name it the Gregory Reserve because it was always reserved for him. Many of the teachers, metaphysicians, scientists out there, professors, they all love this product. Normally, this product is $239 for a 4-ounce bottle. You got to think expansive, not expensive, expansive. This is the gold. This is the elixir of life. So it's going far beyond what the regular platinum can do. It is on sale right now for $179. Get it. You should be hitting up the website now. You want a special sale? I'm giving it to you. Woo! I'm supposed to take a nap today. I was up most of the night. I never got to take a nap. So I'm fired up. You know what I'm saying? I've been taking these herbs all day. I haven't eaten anything. I'm just on these herbs. So I'm high. It's a good thing. Thank you for being here with me. So we talked about the Platinum Life. It's $85. That's the normal price, the regular price. It's on the site. Then there is the Gregory Reserve, which is normally $239. It's on sale for you listeners right now for $179 until Sunday. A lot of folks, their nervous system is basically shot. I mean, all the stimuli that's coming at us all day. We're receiving more information in one day than our grandparents received in a whole lifetime. And it's causing our nervous system to be inflamed, you see. So we have a product called Heaven on Earth. This is a nervous system rejuvenator. It helps to balance your nerves. It helps to calm you down. It also helps your thyroid. It helps your thyroid send the right signal to your heart. So it helps your heart and your thyroid. So people with high blood pressure, low blood pressure, people that are nervous, or people that's under a lot of stress love this Heaven on Earth. Heaven on Earth, I believe it's on sale for $35 on the website, 4-ounce bottle. You get lots of it. Sirius Defense is for colds, flus, and allergies. You know, this is cold, flu, and allergy season because you're carrying the toxins from the last season. So this will be something that you may choose to add to your program. I believe this is about $35. You can give this to the entire family because this year is going to be a very strong allergy season. If you noticed at the end of the year last year, there was lots and lots of acorns all over the ground. There's more nuts and seeds on the ground in this last year than I've ever seen in my life. All over Atlanta, there's acorns. Squirrels are huge. They can't even hardly walk. This is because there's a dimensional, a cosmic shift happening. You see? So when that happens, you have to watch nature and watch the change in nature. Watch the rhythm of nature. Watch the frequency and the sound of the orchestra called nature. So that is called Sirius Defense. It is for your immune system. It's for colds and flus and for allergies. And then the thing that I've been taking throughout this day. Don't ever do that at home. It's called Focus. What does it do? Helps you focus. It's a nootropic. It goes directly to your brain. It helps you focus and be clear on your mission to stay focused. And finally, there's a product that's not on the website. It won't be on the website. It's called X Factor. This is for people that have serious viruses. And most cancers are a combination of virus, fungus, and what we're calling parasites. If you have a situation that is a major illness, then you call me and we'll put together a special program for you. We do have these, what we call protocols for people who are dealing with illness that is something beyond what just the cleanse can do. So if you're in that mode, then what you do is you give me a call at 323-931-1212. That's 323-931-1212 at Elevation. And be patient because it's only one person to call everybody back. I mean, I do have people working here, but folks want to talk to me no matter what. Now, is Dr. B there? Oh, I need to take to Dr. B. I can't tell anybody anything. I need to talk only to Dr. B. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate myself soon. We got a cloning product. I'm joking. It's a joke. But yes. Somebody asked, is there a sale on Rise and Shine? No sale on Rise and Shine. Rise and Shine is already a sale. It's $30, and you got about 3 or 4 good days where you're hard as a rock, brother. That's for people who are ready to be ready right now. It's not going to fix your issue, but it is a great booster for men who need to rise and shine. So it's not on sale. I can't put everything on sale because then I can't keep the quality high. Okay. Yes, we have a stop smoking formula, and the stop smoking formula is called the herbal smoking formula. It's on the website. And you do that in conjunction with the cleanse, either the total body cleanse. I would do the elevated cleanse if I could, because you need to get deep into the system and get all the tar, nicotine, and the 3,000 chemicals that cigarettes cause or actually are leaving in your body. Now, I'm going to go down the list here because there was a lot of questions earlier. We're at 9:37. We're going to go a little further tonight than we normally would go. Actually, I guess I always go further than I normally would go, but there's a lot to cover. And for a lot of you who would like to get even deeper, next Saturday, we're going to be doing a workshop. That's going to be from 10 a.m. until 2 or 2:30 or maybe 3. Okay. So that cost, you have to donate at the website, elevationtime.com, go to events. I'm going to get deep. I'm going to give you actual techniques. And some of you have done some of these workshops before. There are actual techniques that you can do each day to help augment your life, your physical life, and your mental, spiritual life. That's going to be next Saturday. It's $49. When I do this class, it's normally $85. We're doing it for $39 online. Tell your friends to come and, join this. Get your family. A whole family can get together around the computer and you only pay once. I just gave you a little secret there, huh? Okay, let's see. Let's look at some of the questions that are coming through. How do I do this? Oh, look at that. I didn't know you could do that. You can scroll automatically. We're learning every day. All right. Somebody says, is Sacred Womb similar to Dr. Sabi's? Nothing I have is similar to anybody else's. It is totally unique. I'm not sure about his particular product. He had some great products, and I'm not sure who has his actual products right now, but I know mine is different. I formulate things different than anybody else. I have my own mindset. The information that was coming through me, along with the information that's coming through you, is unique. So all of us have great products. There's great herbalists out there. I'd like to give a shout out to all the great herbalists and the great healers, the people who work with the mind, the body, the soul, the folks who are, the midwives, the doulas, the witches, the Wiccans, the sorcerers, whoever you are. As long as you're doing good, shout goes out to you. So we're not here to try to say whose product is better than others. Mine is different. I do the very best at making my products. I'm the best in the world at being me. You like that? Somebody says the toothpaste is amazing. No, you can't do this program if you're pregnant. Thank you for putting up the ebook, Your Brain on Parasites, a very good book. It's about the manipulars. The manipulars are plants and animals that manipulate other things. Is the second sun returning? No, it is here now. The second sun is actually here. The second sun, there's two versions of it. One of it is the sun, or the mother of our sun, called Sirius, is the second sun or the first sun. It is actually here. That's a whole nother program. That's a whole nother thing. Yes, it is here. Magnesium chloride, yes, it's back along with the iodine. It is on the site. There's a limited quality. Actually, everything here is a limited quality because I was on the Carl Nelson show and things started going like crazy. So these products are only available based on the amount that we can, have in stock. So things are going fast. If you would like to get something, I would not wait. You see, don't wait until, the weight becomes too heavy. And if you're planning on cleansing and detoxifying during the equinox or after, then this is the time to get your product. It takes me maybe 2 days to process your order. Then it's maybe another 3 days to get to you. So that could be 5, sometimes 6 days, so order on the website, elevationtime.com. What product revitalizes blood cells? Cancer patients stop taking pills after 2 months. Cancer patients stop taking pills after 2 months. I guess they're saying the person is a cancer patient. What revitalizes blood cells is the total body program. Also, you could try the liver powder along with New Life. These two things will help revitalize blood cells. But if a person's been dealing with cancer, there's a lot more going on, especially if that is a cancer that has been activated and it's got too much estrogen in the system. The estrogen-driven cancers, which is a lot of them, colon, prostate, breast, a lot of those are driven by estrogen. And we have to deal with, you may have to start taking something called calcium D-glucarate. Calcium D-glucarate helps to signal the oils in your body to leave. It helps your body eject the oil. Otherwise, if you don't have enough calcium D-glucarate, what that does is it puts a signal, a marker on the oils in your body. So when you eat oil, it marks it and tells it to leave. It goes around one complete cycle and leaves when it's marked with calcium D-glucarate. Okay. Otherwise, you're reuptaking your oil. So the oil in your body, whatever you've eaten, whatever oils from wherever, animals, what's that stuff? Crisco, corn oil, soy oil, canola oil, all this stuff is just recirculating in your body. It's not leaving. Calcium D-glucarate helps to mark it. You can find it online. I don't have it on my website. Calcium D-glucarate. Also another product called DIM, D-I-M, helps to push excess estrogen out of your body. And even men today have too much estrogen. And it has nothing to do with how they act. It has to do with how the body detoxifies its system. Okay. This is uterine. Uterine, I think, is estrogen. It's a type of estrogen driven cancer also. So I would do one of my cancer protocols, and I have 4 of them, and they start around $600 and they go to about $2,400 a month. If you've got cancer, you've been dealing with cancer, you used to have cancer, or if you're afraid of cancer running in your family, which will create the cancer, just your idea of you thinking that something can run in your family, then your belief system is going to create that state. This is why a lot of people are so sick, because they believe it. Okay. So you should call me if you have a major illness like that, high blood pressure, if you have hepatitis, cancer, diabetes, kidney issues. Give me a call so we can put together something more specific for you. My highest choice is that I'm answering these questions clearly for you. If not, you can put them in the chat room. My niece has hair growth on her chest and chin. What can I suggest for her hair removal? First, we got to stop the hormones that are creating this particular environment. That's something you might need to call me on. If they're eating a lot of milk, chickens full of female hormones, dairy, cows, all of these foods are pumped up with female hormones. The female hormones could cause the male hormones to kick in and try to overcome them. So there's a fight going on. There's a war going on in the system. So I would stop eating certain foods. As far as natural hair, hair removal, I don't know of something that does that, but I do know it's an internal issue. Okay. Let's see. I have camel. Should I be taking it every day or every other day? It depends on the type you have, and it depends on your situation. If your camel is pink, then it is probably cut with some other things. If it's brownish, dark or brownish or reddish brown, then you have the actual aged camel. Most of the camel out there is young camel. It's not even ready yet. They just rape it from the Amazon River now, and just because it's camel, but it's the aged berries that you really want. A lot of the camel out there is cut. If it's pink, it's been cut. You can use it, but it's not going to be as strong. You have to test it. There's a way to test these products to see how much you should take a day. But just remember, it's thousands of times stronger than the average vitamin C, because it goes directly into your cell and does the work immediately. Okay, so you don't have to take as much if it's camel. Somebody said they smelled the pine trees today. Yes, the pine trees will be popping over the next week. Check them out. Thank you so much for the information, Dr. B. That's Margot. Is that Margot from back in the days in Connecticut, the singer? My highest choices. That's her. Hey, what's happening, sister? We did a lot of work together back in the day when I didn't know much of anything. Okay. So take the Gregory Reserve with the 28-day cleanse. I'd be taking Gregory Reserve anyway. And if you take it with the cleanse, it boosts the cleanse. And any other natural supplements you're taking, things like the Gregory Reserve and the regular platinum, helps to boost the effectivity of all the natural products you're taking. Okay. We talked about the block stop smoking. That's also for people who would like to stop. That's also a psychological thing. So I do subconscious alignment work for folks who would like to break habits, folks who would like to get out of certain ways of thinking. And there are some nutritionists around town who we can send you to that can help you. If you're in Atlanta, there's a sister named Kiba. I don't know if she's online. She's also a nutritionist. And then there's a lot of people. Whoo. Man, there's some really good people out here right now who are doing some really good work, who really know about food. Chef Aki, whew, she's on a whole nother level. She's like from the same planet I'm from. She was doing a lecture one day and I thought it was my lecture. My mouth was moving at the same time, like we were connected. I said, whoa, what's happening? So there's some powerful people out there. There's a sister named Ma'a. And there's Matu. There's so many people doing great work. So, yes, it's a lot. When will you write an herbal book? Well, I'm not sure, Actually, I'm looking for somebody to help me write a couple books. That book thing gets funny for me because my mind is just so fired up. And I have like 3 books and 3 movies that I'm looking to get put together. So I'm looking for people who are really ready to help put all that together for me, because I can't do it all. I'm usually in the lab. I'm usually in the studio. Either I'm making healing music or I'm traveling, working with clients. There's a lot, but it is coming. Yes. How do I choose the right niacin? Almost all the niacin is the same. Just make sure that it's not from tobacco, because there's niacinamide and there's also, what's the other one? No flush niacin. Those are the wrong kinds. Get pure niacin if you're going to take it, and be ready to itch and burn, because it opens up the blood vessels really quickly, and you'll itch and burn and turn red, but it's opening up the blood vessels. It's very good for cellular detoxification at the capillary level, at the skin level. It's good for also helping to get you off drugs and alcohol, and also that nicotine. Niacin can help you get off a lot of drugs. Okay, I don't sell that. You can pick that up at your health food store. Get pure niacin, 100%. Okay, can you sign up for the next class? Weeks to call, watch time, huh? Can you sign up for next week's class? Yes. Call to watch at a time later. Yes, once you sign up for any of these, you can watch it later. You can even watch this over and over and over. You see that you just go to the replay. And you can sign up for that class for next week right now. In fact, there's only a certain amount of seats like this. We can only handle a certain amount of people at a time in these particular webinars. So get there early, be ready, have a pen and a pencil, bring water, be at your computer or on your phone. We're going to drop a lot of information over those 4 hours. This will be a class. This is like a lecture. This is kind of like to get you pumped up. That's going to be school time where I start dropping science. And that's for people who are in the business of natural health and people who would like to get into business, or people who are just in the business of trying to be healthier, to create a more healthy, balanced life. We'll be doing that next Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So go sign up as soon as possible. Yes, you can watch it at another time. What for high or bad cholesterol? Stop eating animals. Almost all high cholesterol comes from animals, especially shellfish and chicken, things like that. They're going to have high cholesterol. If you stop eating animals for 7 days, your cholesterol will drop. And do the cleanse. Do the cleanse, because your liver is beginning to, create certain states where it can't burn up those oils and those grease. That grease, it's grease. Let's call it cholesterol high. Let's call it high grease. You got high grease. Cleanse, detoxify. Do something like the total body or the elevated total body program. Is eating hydroponic herbs as good as no, everything in the dirt is going to be better. But if you can only get hydroponic, or aeroponic, I think those are growing in the air. I've heard about these plants now. They're growing in the air. They spray some. I'm not sure how it works. I haven't seen it. But things need to be in the soil to have their highest vibration. But use whatever you can right about now. I'm on my second month of the elevated cleanse. My blood pressure is higher than normal. Any suggestions? You should call me. We need to talk about this and see exactly what your lifestyle is and what's going on with you. You may need to do some other things. There is a couple of enzymes that help to clear the plaque out of your blood vessels. You may need to do something like that. You may need to exercise and drink more water, more water, more water, more water, more water, more water. How much iodine should I take? You only need about 3 to 4 to 5 drops in a little cup of water, a little glass, a little bit of water. And that's all you need. Some people just do 1 drop a day because you don't need a lot of it. Okay. What can I do to regrow my hair? Once again, we're back talking about iodine. Iodine can help your hair grow. Magnesium can help your hair grow. Some people spray the magnesium spray directly on the areas where they're going bald, where they got skin and hair problems, and it begins to grow. Now, it's going to tingle. Some people say it burns a little bit. When it burns a little bit, when you spray it on, that means that you're very deficient in magnesium. Most people are very deficient in magnesium, and you're going to feel it. You're going to feel the actual molecules being pulled in through your skin. And it tingles. It tickles. Sometimes some people say it itches and burns. You may need to put a little coconut oil on afterwards to get it to cool down. Okay? So that's for magnesium. Also, cleansing detoxification is going to help your hair and your skin, because if you're not getting enough nutrients to your hair and your skin, then the body says, hey, look, we got a problem. We got problems elsewhere in the body. We cannot be worried about vanity. It's about saving your life right now. You see? So if there's problems elsewhere in your body, then your body will pick what thing it needs to work on. What is the priority? And that's one of the things the pineal gland does. The pineal gland makes stem cells. The pineal stem cells actually trigger all the stem cells in your body to fix things. If your pineal gland is working correctly, it will regulate all the functions of the body. It's like the control tower at the airport. It's the air traffic controller of the body, is the pineal. And no, it's not calcified. It just may be dormant. You see, now if you eat a lot of fluoride, if you're using a lot of fluoride, then, fluoride causes calcium to stick to your glands. So you may want to leave that fluoride alone too. and ask your dentist what does it really work, and make them sign a contract that says that if this damages me in any way, and then look up fluoride. You might have a lawsuit. What's the name of the Focus product? It's called Focus. Focus. It can help your energy by helping you think about energy. Yes, and it also can give you a lot of energy by opening up the very small blood vessels in your body. Okay. Are there any last questions before we, cancel out for the day? Yes. So next week on the 20th is the Equinox. You should be thinking about your desires. Think about fasting, celebrating, dancing, or even, make love out of the things that are not love. You're talking about making love out of what? Make it out of the things in your life that are not love, with yourself, by yourself. And if you're going to be involved in the sacred dance with somebody else, be very careful who you're choosing to mix with, because you're creating something and you're joining with other people. So I know today it's just kind of wild, and this is why, the world is kind of wild, because folks are just eating and living, and they think it's just, it's the end of the world anyway. That's what they keep hearing. It's not the end of the world. It's the beginning of a whole new world. You see? Get some music, This is the Dr. B presents the Medicine Music Collective 1. This is available on the website as a download. It is healing meditation music. It's whole orchestras. We recorded music from all over, sounds from all over, and created this, which puts you in the theta state. This is not music. It's medicine. It sounds like music, but it's medicine. It has the 432 frequencies, the 528 frequencies, which are the natural frequencies and the resonance of the earth. And there are several, music products on the website. Look for the medicine music on the website, elevationtime.com, and put that music on. It changes your vibrational state. And it's great for making love. It's great for eating, great for meditation, doing Tai Chi, yoga, martial arts, or just sitting silently. Okay. Let's see. Suggestions for gout. Number one, gout is going to be urine, the uric acid that you eat when you eat flesh. When you eat animal products, there's uric acid or urine in the tissue of the meat, because the bladder backs up into its muscles when they kill it. You see, so those uric acid crystals, which is crystallized urine, they go to your feet and to your ankles and cut like glass. Stop eating animals. A good thing to do is the total body cleanse, or at least do the Be Serious liver powder. Be Serious liver powder. Get the magnesium spray and rub that on your feet. Gout is urine. You're full of urine. This is why people be pissed off, because they ate the animal. The animal was pissed off. The animal had too much pee in its muscles, and then you eat that and it crystallizes in your body. It is very painful. Fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is a thing where the body is not receiving energy correctly. First of all, vitamin D is very important. Vitamin D3 for everybody. For everybody, vitamin D3. Fibromyalgia is very, very touchy, because we've got to deal with the inflammation in the system. So far infrared light, you can buy a far infrared dome. You can get a far infrared light that has a crystal in it that actually puts this far infrared energy, but also cleansing. The total body program for 3 months, or the elevated total body program. And I can put together a special customized program for you for fibromyalgia. I have several clients with fibromyalgia. It is not gone, but they're doing a lot better. So we had a lady, she could not even move her hands, and now she can make a fist and pick up things. She couldn't even do that. It's a serious thing that is dealing not only with the body, but it's also dealing with the mind. Most illnesses start in the mind. They start in the process of thought, the way you process thought. You see what I'm saying? So then we become stiff and we become stuck in our ways. So then we have things like fibromyalgia. We have things like lupus, things like arthritis. These have to do with flexibility. This has to do with love. We must become lovers once again, true lovers, and forgive. Not forget, but forgive and move forward. Fibromyalgia. What about fungus in the toenails? Well, old school, you put bleach on your toenails every day. Now that's serious. But soaking your feet in some bleach with a little bit of water, and some bleach. I forgot how much to use. Go online and look it up. Or if you can get Manuka essential oil, not Manuka honey, but Manuka essential oil. Put that on your toenail. It stinks. Smells like garlic and garbage. It is very powerful. Manuka essential oil on your toenails every day. It takes time. It may take years. And that fungus in the toenails is also in your digestive tract. It's also in your system. Same thing with people who have, vaginitis or fungus or yeast infections or what they call candidiasis. Candidiasis is a natural type of yeast that actually eats dead, decaying material. So when your cells die, or when a person dies, candidiasis comes online and begins to break the body down and takes it back to the earth into a powdered state, back to, decomposes the body. So it is supposed to be there, but it's not supposed to be on eating you while you're alive. So sugar feeds cancer, and yeast or candidiasis feeds cancer. So if you've got this on your toenails, it's throughout your system. It can cause diabetes. It can cause many, many illnesses, are a combination of parasites, fungus, circulation, and a pH that's off, the potential hydrogen. So we've got to get your pH correct, you see. Also pee, when you're in the shower, pee on your feet. Pee on your nails. Let it soak in. Pee. That's right. Pee. Wash it off. Don't go out in the world. You know what I'm saying? Don't be wearing urinary deodorant or urinary cologne. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing to do. I don't know if you're going to smell too good. But yes, pee. Urine. Call me about that. Okay. Some homeopathic doctors talk a lot about cleansing the lymphatic system. Do your products work in cleaning and cleansing the lymphatic system? I heard the lymphatic system is vast and its malfunction is the cause of most diseases. Can you speak on this? Yes. The lymphatic system is it's like the plumbing system of the body, this ego. Hey, gotta be vegan and you won't catch anything. Look, I've been vegan. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have been vegan. That doesn't mean you don't catch anything. That just means your body can rebound quicker. You see, you can still catch things because it's in the air, or it could be something that you actually had in your system since you were a child. But yes, your lymphatic system, one of the things that's going to help it is drinking lots of water with lemon, but also get a bouncer, one of those little trampolines, those little personal trampolines, $59, bounce. It helps the lymphatic system. Go to somebody who does lymphatic massage. Also, lymphatic system, magnesium oil, rub it on your body. You see, lymphatic system. Yes, the cleanse does help with the lymphatic system. It helps you get to a point where your body can detoxify at a rapid rate. But I would also get a bouncer, one of those little jumpers, little small trampolines. And I'd also do a lot of grounding. This is everyone. Go touch a tree. Before I started the program today, I went and held onto a tree. You see, or take your shoes and socks off and put your naked feet on the ground and breathe deeply. You see, laugh. Laughing helps to detoxify the lymphatic system. Laugh a lot because that begins to vibrate your diaphragm at a certain frequency per second, right? A certain harmonic rate that pumps your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system pump is your diaphragm. So laugh, laugh, laugh. Go have some fun. Okay, let's see. What's the next question here? My fingernails are very brittle near the top, and they brittle. The top tear, I guess it separates. Yes, that means that you've got a mineral deficiency somewhere. Eat a lot of green leafy vegetables so you can get more magnesium and calcium. Eat a lot of fruit, berries. Berries will be very good for you. Berries would be good for everybody because the berries right now, they basically, especially the dark ones like bilberry, blueberry, they basically are vaccinum. Vaccinum is like the natural vaccine. You see, if your nails are thin, this means that there is a problem with you absorbing minerals. Vitamin C helps your body absorb minerals from your food. You see, what are you eating? What's in your environment? What are you cleaning your house with? What do you put your hands in to wash your dishes? Some people are washing dishes, like most of the time when I wash dishes, I'm only using baking soda and vinegar, period. One of the best cleansers in the world, you see. In fact, I clean a lot of my house with baking soda and vinegar. That's about it. Maybe some hydrogen peroxide sometime. But you have a mineral deficiency. Parasites will eat up all of the good stuff. Parasites will get to things that you ate. Couldn't care how healthy it was. They will eat it first. They love health food. Parasites love health food. That's why I tell my vegan friends, you got them too. I don't want to hear this talk about you a vegan and you don't have parasites. You see, yes, there are certain parasites like the flesh-eating bacteria that only live in meat, but there are thousands and thousands of different types of parasites. Cleanse. If you're breathing the air, if you're drinking water, if you're eating even your vegetables that grew in this air, I don't care how organic they are. Where did your plants exist? So maybe an organic garden drinking this inorganic air. So yes, you're not going to be perfect on the earth, but cleansing when the seasons change is important. So if you've got thin, if you've got thin nails, there is an energy problem. There is a mineral deficiency somewhere in the body. So first, let's start by at least cleansing for at least 28 days. I'd suggest, once again, maybe doing the elevated total body program, getting some magnesium, some vitamin C, you see, and also, just a matter of, you eating at the right time. Certain times of the day, you shouldn't eat certain things. You see, eat your biggest meal maybe at lunch or in the early afternoon. Eat a smaller meal in the evening. You see, there's a digestive issue going on there. Okay. Chinese medicine talks about the different times of the day that you should eat certain things, you see. So that's something that if you're interested in doing, you can give me a call. We can talk more about that, or come to the workshop next week. I'm going to answer a lot of these questions on how to live, how to thrive and stop surviving. We've been surviving, and surviving will kill you. We'll even get into a little bit about money and how to become wealthy, because we're working on a system right now to get everybody wealthy. That's right. There is a way, there's a system to be wealthy and healthy and wise. All right. How does one treat candidiasis overgrowth? That's going to be a serious issue. We're going to have to use certain types of yeast digesting enzymes. There's an imbalance somewhere in the microbiome or the microbacteria or the intestinal flora. There are things we can do for that. You've got to cleanse the parasites, because the parasites and the candidiasis or the yeast, they make a swamp. They all live together. They feed each other. You see, you got to cut out sugar, especially processed white sugar. That's like crack. You see, you got to cut out the processed white sugar and get to a type of sugar that your body can deal with. You see, and it's probably going to be a no sugar by the time we finish. And certain foods also feed candidiasis. Okay. What kills any form of herpes? You can't kill any virus. You cannot kill a virus, but you can disorganize it, and you can shut it off from communicating with its counterparts. Yes, we have a 3-month program that helps people disorganize herpes and most of these serious viruses. In 3 months, usually we can help your body get to a point where your immune system can kick in and control that. You can't kill it, but you can manage it. You can manage it so you don't have the outbreaks. You see, one thing you should definitely get is some L-lysine. L-lysine and L-proline, they help to rebuild the collagen. You see, because certain things like herpes and certain viruses, certain things like cancer, they emit a what they call a collagen reducing hormone. It's actually, it's an enzyme. It's collagenase. Collagenase breaks down tissues that should be dying. But when you have one of these afflictions, your collagenase has gone awry. So now things can move and metastasize from cell to cell to cell. So L-lysine and L-proline help to tighten up the collagen of the cells, and they help to reduce the free collagenase. See, collagenase. Look that up. That's when it's gone crazy. Your body's making too much of it. So now when you have an outbreak, it moves from cell to cell to cell to cell to cell. But by doing our 3-month herpes protocol, usually you will notice a reduction, or actually this situation may disappear. You may not have the symptoms anymore. Or if so, it may only be mild. But while you're working on it, you may have a serious outbreak. While we're killing it, you may have an outbreak. But you got to break it out so we can get it out. We got to bring it up so you can get it out. You got to bring that trash out of the house so you can take it to the corner. You see what I'm saying? But yes, we have programs that can help with most of those things. Okay? So let me give out some information once again. My email is docb737 at gmail.com. docb737 at gmail.com. The website is www.elevationtime.com. Most of you know that because you went there to get here. Oh, I put too many W's there. Wow, I put www. It's 4 W's. Don't use that. Take one of those W's out. Phone number is 323-931-1212. That is the number to Elevation. Please be patient. It may take me a little while to get back to you. We are inundated with calls and people calling from all over since I've been doing these programs this past week. Do you recommend apple cider vinegar? And for what? It helps to give you energy. It helps to create an alkaline environment in your digestive tract. It can also help the friendly bacteria. You have to be careful and use it with lots of water, and you can't use it all the time, you see. But it is a good product. You got to make sure that it is organic and it has the mother at the bottom. That is almost looks like debris or dirt at the bottom of the jar or the bottle. That has the mother in it. It's a very good product. Okay. Yes, there are a lot of things that we could talk about. This could go on and on and on. So we're going to be doing a series. This is part 2 of a series. This is part 2. I'm not sure. I think it's part 2. And there's also going to be, many other things we do, classes, workshops. Please stay on board. Get on our email list. Go to Elevation Time. Join the email list, the newsletter, so you can get these announcements about things that I'm not going to be telling the mainstream. Less and less am I using things like Facebook and Instagram, things like that. I am not attempting to tell the world what we're doing here. So we got to keep some things sacred. We got to keep some things secret. We got to do some things on the inside because what we're doing right now is sacred work. This is sacred work. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a nurse. I'm not okay by the AMA, the medical systems, or the FDA, or the DBA, or the DEA, or any of them. I'm not associated with them. You see, I am doing something that my ancestors taught me and that I was taught through, growing up. So this is old school natural medicine. I am what they call an urban medicine man. And I've been selected by people who put me in this position, and I will do the work. My thing is to help people as much as possible. I'm on the planet because I was given another lease on life when I was told some very bad news 30 years ago. I was not supposed to be here. So I told the Most High that if you let me live, I will do the work of helping other people. I've had lots of disease in my family, in my extended family, and I'm here to help people help themselves. You got to do the work. And it's not always going to be easy. You may go through some pain. You may wake up in the morning. There's people woke up with worms in the toilet. And there's people woke up with, with all kinds of mucus coming out of them and the eyes with, stuff coming out of them. It's because it's got to come out. And it's going to be a little challenging sometimes to stop eating some of the foods that you've been eating. But when you do the total body paracleanse or the elevated total body program, you stop craving most of these foods after about 28 days. Most people will end up becoming vegans and vegetarians when they get off the program. You see, when they get off the program, they don't even desire to eat those foods because the animals are, the parasites have got you craving those animal products and those sugars and those foods and those processed things. The parasites will make you crave certain things. They will control your mind. What's good for a young female adult with sickle cell? That's something you have to call me about. That is a serious situation that we have had some success with, and there are some products with, cleansing, detoxification, but also rebuilding, rejuvenation to get those blood cells to kind of round out again. Okay. It is a challenge, but it can be done. We have had some success with people who are living basically normal lives now. That doesn't mean it's gone. It just means it must be managed. Okay. So we can talk about that at another time. Give me a call and we could discuss that. If you have chronic illnesses, if you have situations that need special care. If you'd like me to speak to your group, if you have a group you'd like, we can do it online. I can come to your city, to your village, to your home. We do all kinds of consultations. I do something called a intensive, where I might be with you all day. And I watch the way you walk, the way you talk. I take notes on the tone of your voice, what you say over and over. I'm looking at you mentally, physically, and spiritually to see what we can shift to cause you to get out of the place that you're in. Those are called intensives. You see, I do consultations here in Atlanta and also in Los Angeles when I'm there. I'm in Los Angeles about every 6 weeks or so. And then I'm here in Atlanta. I have an office where I see clients. We do consultations for the mind and the body. So the subconscious alignment work I do is for the mind, for the spirit. And then for the body, we can also do an assessment to see what your body needs. And we do muscle testing, and we can also, get you the herbs and the products. And I can also point you to other people in the business who are very good at what they do. So, yes, that's a possibility too. So whatever you'd like, whatever you need, let me know, and we can help put it together. Or call out to somebody who who is in the world of natural health. You see, one last question. Is it safe to say that parasites create various diseases as well as feed off of the human temple? Yes. Most of the diseases we have are either caused by parasites, fungus, or toxicity, or a combination of all of them. And they do feed off your body. They feed off your temple. They feed off your thought process. They eat your food. They eat your cells. They live in your organs. A lot of people have tapeworms in their digestive tract. They've got heartworms in their heart. They've got a lot of people with diabetes have this diabetic fluke worm, or a fluke worm that lives in the pancreatic fluke worm, I think it's called. Look it up, the pancreatic fluke worm. A lot of people with blood illnesses have a parasite that lives in the blood, that eats their blood. Then there's hookworms. They drink blood. A lot of folks who are anemic have these hookworms living in the body, living in the blood, in the digestive tract. So yes, parasites is the number one thing. You could do all kinds of cleansing of the colon and take all kinds of wormwood, black walnut, and all that kind of stuff. Even, diatomaceous earth. I keep hearing that gets rid of parasites. It does get rid of some, but you've got to go systemic, because that diatomaceous earth and those things are only existing in the colon and in the digestive tract. They're good for that. That's easy. What we do is a little more challenging. The ones that live in the liver, the kidneys, the spleen, the eyes, you can see them in your eyes. When you look around, you see them floating through your eyes. So what we do is systemic, eradication of parasites, you see. And some folks' situation is a little more challenging than others. But we're here to guide you. So if you'd like guidance, I'm here to guide you. Or go to somebody who knows, or somebody you trust. There's so many things in natural health right now that are available to us for the first time ever. But just be aware, this is the time to change. Do it now. Don't wait. The longer you wait to change, the more weight change has, right? So this year, at this time, this March forward, you cross over that equinox, and don't let the equinox cross over you, right? Don't be sitting on the cross waiting for somebody to save you. It's time to save yourself. And stop trying to explain to other people what they need to do. You do it for yourself. Rise. It's time to rise, y'all. Okay? So the 20th, whatever you're doing, it's a sacred time. Take time to be sacred with yourself. And it's not just the 20th. It's actually the 19th, the 20th, and the 21st. It's a 3-day event. Okay? Okay? Somebody asked about sickle cell anemia. Why is it always with Black people? Well, it has to do with sickle cell being a trait of Black people, which actually helped people not get malaria. Sickle cell was something that helped people not get malaria. But when you're anemic and you have the sickle cell, then we have a problem. And most people, not just Black people, but all melanated people can get sickle cell anemia. You see, there's another reason. It has to do with melanin. It has to do with a lot of the things that, how melanin works in our body. And that's a whole program within itself. Okay. But eat red foods, enrich the blood with iron, natural iron, nascent iron. There's an herbal iron that you can pick up in most stores, or you can try my what's it called? New Life product, or my blood sugar powder. And if you have diabetes, there's another product called, no, actually, forgive me. The product I mentioned just now, I should have said Be Sirius liver powder for the blood. But there is another product I have called blood sugar powder. Blood sugar powder. It was made especially for people who are having challenges with diabetes. It is excellent. A lot of folks buy it when they're cleansing to make sure that their blood is doesn't have too much sugar in it, and it helps to get rid of the pancreatic fluke worm. If you've got diabetes, it takes about 3 months to get your body to begin to neutralize that. You see, if you're on medicine, don't just stop on the medicine, the metformin or whatever you're on. We have to regulate your blood because it could drop too low. But the blood sugar powder is on the website. That is for people dealing with diabetes or having diabetes run in your family because you believe it runs in your family. So you may actually be calling the disease to you. So cleanse, do a 3-month program, and take the blood sugar powder along with the program. One last question. Is bone broth bad? I wouldn't touch it. Bone broth. What is this? Is this a caveman diet? Would we cave people? I don't know about that. Neanderthal, they found one skull, one piece of one brain. No, actually, one piece of a skull of a Neanderthal. You think they found whole Neanderthals? They don't even know if that really exists the way it did. It's a lot of stuff that they call history that you don't know if it was history or not. I don't know if we were ever cave people and if we should be eating bone broth. The bone broth is the marrow, the rotten marrow from the blood, the dead blood from some dead animals. I would not touch it, especially if I was melanated. If I was yellow, red, brown, tan, or even maybe a little vanilla, because some of us are vanilla too, you see, I wouldn't touch it. I know it's really selling big time right now. Bone broth. Eat the bone broth. I wouldn't touch it. But some people need it, especially people of European descent. That works for them. They can eat a more acidic diet. They need more animals. You see what I'm saying? They can use milk. They have the lactase to break down milk. We don't have it. If you're brown, if you're yellow, if you're tan, you just don't have it. Okay? All right, so that's about it for today. We've gone way over time. So if you've got any more questions, you can email me or you can call me, and we can talk about it. Next week on Saturday from 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time till about 2, possibly 3. You see, I do go over time. So, be aware of that. Bring water, tell your friends, and the sales are on until Sunday. There are many sales on the website. Some things will never be on a traditional sale because we like to keep the quality high. We only use the very best quality products. In your life, please choose high quality friends, high quality food. Breathe high quality, breathe deeply. Don't get the cheap stuff. Don't go buying the stuff that's just cheap all the time, looking for the bargain basement. Usually that stuff is old. Don't buy cans of stuff that's got a dent in it. In fact, be very careful with canned food because a lot of times it has lead in it. You see? So there are a lot of things to learn, a lot of things to know. Read, study, but also go into your own DNA. Your genes will talk to you. Your genies will talk to you. When you take some of the classes that we're going to be doing, in our herbalism class, we're going to be learning kinesiology, how to do muscle testing, and how to use a pendulum to get a yes or no so we know how to measure things. We also will be doing it when we do our subconscious alignment class. I will be teaching the subconscious alignment technique sometime this year. I know I promised it last year. It didn't work out because of the timing of things. But this year, we're going to get those classes in. They will be taught. We'll have one class here in Atlanta and another one in Los Angeles. And there'll be stages. So there'll be like Herbalism 1, Herbalism 2, Herbalism 3, and then Master Herbalism. Same thing with subconscious alignment. You see, learning how to work with the brain to get people's brain and your brain to balance itself. Thank you very much. You've been a wonderful audience. I'm honored to be here, honored that you took this time to be with me. I'm very thankful for all of you who have donated to our cause, those of you who have purchased products, been to the lectures and classes over the many years. I'm very grateful, very thankful. And now it's time to launch the spaceship, the Merkaba, which is you. So on the 20th, it's time to rise. It's time to rise. Much love, peace, and harmony to you all. I love you. I love you. Love yourself as much as I love you. And you're listening to the music of the Medicine Music Collective 1, available on the website elevationtime.com. This song is called Solaris. It has to do with the sun and the connection to your solar plexus. That's the Medicine Music 1 CD, available on the website now as a download. Thank you very much. Enjoy.